Welcome to Buffalo's Memorial Auditorium, where tonight the NHL Soviet Exhibition Series wraps up. It's the Buffalo Sabres and the Moscow Dynamo. Back in 1976, the wings of the Soviet were here. They lost 12-6. Gilbert Perreault had 3 points for Buffalo on that night. The next time a Soviet team was here was January 1980. It was the Red Army. Vladislav Tretiak in goal. But this shorthanded goal by Don Luce proved to be the game winner as the Sabres went on to an impressive 6-1 victory. Needless to say, the Sabres want their luck to continue, and there's no reason why it shouldn't. The Dynamos and the Sabres, last of a 10-game series, should be a good one. Some pregame comments now from John Wells and Jerry Cheevers.
2 nights ago, the best game on the Dynamo Tour against the Boston Bruins. We really enjoyed that one.
Sure did, John. You know, it had all the ingredients of a classic game. It had strong body checking, good passing, and great goaltending.
And like the Boston Bruins, the Buffalo Sabres are in a great race in the Adams division. It's getting very, very close.
Well, the Sabres find themselves in the cellar now, and they shouldn't treat this game lightly. They've made some roster changes, and they better use this game as a springboard to better themselves in the Adams division.
Quick thought about the Moscow Dynamo. They are 1-1-1 on this tour. Now, how do they go out there tonight against the Buffalo Sabres?
Well, they're not going to treat it lightly, too. They want to go back to Moscow on the top side of things. They want to be above 500, so it's going to be a very, very interesting game.
All right, the Buffalo Sabres and the Moscow Dynamo. The NHL Soviet Series of 1986 continues live on the Sports Network, TSN.
Molson Canadian. Taste that'll stop you cold.
Until you try Gillette's new Foamy Smooth for sensitive skin, enriched with skin lubricants, you're missing out on the smoothest foamy shave ever. Foamy Smooth lets your razor glide across your face, so you get a close shave with exceptional comfort. New Gillette Foamy Smooth for sensitive skin. The smoothest foamy ever.
Business travelers are waking up to the good deal they get at Howard Johnson.
Good morning.
A recent U.S. survey was positively eye-opening. Our guests rated our message and wake-up service higher than Best Western guests rated theirs. Our room decor better than Holiday Inn guests. Our staff more efficient than Ramada's. Towels thicker, too. People with a nose for business are finding the nearly 500 Howard Johnson hotels and lodges a good deal, and a good deal more.
Buffalo's Memorial Auditorium is going to be full to capacity for this final exhibition game between the Moscow Dynamo and the Buffalo Sabres, and it's going to be a good one. The Sabres are in the toughest division in the NHL, as we mentioned, the Adams. They've made some roster changes. 2 veterans, Don Lever and, of course, Pat Hughes, cleared waivers today and have been sent down to Rochester of the American Hockey League. Gates Orlando was sent down yesterday as well. 2 new faces in the lineup tonight. They include Joe Rickey, the defenseman, and Noran Lacombe, who's been with the Sabres organization for the last couple of years. We're all set to go now with the opening ceremony, so let's join our public address announcer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the Moscow Dinaмо. In goal, number 1, Vladimir Mishkin. At defense, number 5, Vasily Pukhuvin. At defense, number 17, Zinetula Bielyaletdinov. At right wing, number 14, Sergei Svetlov. At left wing, number 13, Sergei Yashin. And at center, number 22, Mikhail Vernikov. And now, starting for the Buffalo Sabres, in goal, number 1, Jacques Cloutier. At defense, number 21, Richie Dunn. At defense, number 6, Phil Housley. At right wing, number 17, Mike Foligno. At left wing, number 22, Lindy Ruff. And at center, number 25, Dave Andrechuk.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the playing by Joe Mankowski and singing by Sue Britton of the Soviet and U.S. national anthems.
The NHL Soviet Series of '86 continues on the Sports Network, TSN. Ceremonial exchange of pennants at center ice between the two captains. And we're just about ready to get this hockey evening in Buffalo underway. The men in charge of proceedings tonight, the referee, Viktor Gubernatorov of the Soviet Union, and his linesman from the NHL, Bob Hodges and Dan McCourt. And the starting goaltenders for the Moscow Dynamo, Vladimir Mishkin, a Soviet first-team All-Star. Fourth start of the tour. He has won 1-1, and his goals against average is 3.66. At the other end of the ice for the Buffalo Sabres, the rookie Jacques Cloutier, up from the minors for his fourth game with Buffalo. A record of 1 win, 2 losses in 3 appearances, and his goals against average in Rochester, 2.94. Well, again, a sellouts for the Dynamo, and they have been greeted to enthusiastic receptions just about everywhere they've toured in North America. I think, Jerry Cheevers, we're in for a pretty good game tonight. How do you see the Sabres starting?
Well, I think with Ruff and Foligno, 2 guys that take the body a lot, they're going to come out and try and set the tone for the game right off the bat.
I think you may be right. I think that's the way you have to get the upper hand on the Soviets. Andrechuk, Foligno, and Ruff. The forward front for the Buffalo Sabres as action is underway. That's Ruff. Clearing it to the right side boards. Foligno dumps it into the Soviet zone. Richie Dunn pinching in, and Dunn played it behind the goal. Dunn going after it once more. Foligno tried to lay a check on the Soviet out there. Svetlov avoided most of the body that time. into the Soviet zone. Bilyaletdinov, 17. Over for Yashin on the left wing. And the play broken up just at the line by Dunn, but the Soviets come back in. This is Svetlov. Svetlov couldn't take a return pass, and it's down into the Sabre zone. Soviets keep it in at the line. And now the Sabres get it out across and down into Soviet territory where Gluchenkov takes over for the Moscow Dynamo. 2-on-2 for the Dynamo now. At the Sabre line, play broken up by Verta, Anu Verta, number 3 for the Sabres. Now Antipov and Verta slide to the ice in the corner. Jammed in along the boards. And Sealing is there for the Sabres, now loose behind the net. Verta claims it for Buffalo. Sealing banked it off the boards. Antipov took a shot. Back to the line, winding up with a shot. It was blocked. That was Payantinov, number 24. Sabres get it out to neutral territory. Gluchenkov back there. Varyanov winding up for the Soviets. Shadowed by Sear, he got it to Farudinov. This is Skirdak. Skirdak tried to get it through for Farudinov, and going back for it is Halkidas for the Sabres into the corner. Dynamo controlling the shot. First save of the game for Kluche. Victor Skirdak. Sabres to the attack with Sear to the Soviet line. And he's ridden out, that time by Vosikov. Farudinov now for the Soviets to the Buffalo line. Farudinov takes the shot. Kluche down to make the save.
John, they better get a whistle pass there. The Sabres don't seem to get the body into the game at all. Here's a good check here.
That was Foligno. Antipov now takes a check. They're listening to you, Jerry. Housley tried to keep it in. Soviets controlling in the Sabre zone. Pass on the left side. This is Sasha, number 15. Check by Housley. Housley couldn't get it across the line. Soviets control once more. Borshevetsky out in front. Saved by Kluche. That one might have been going a little wide. What do you think?
Well, you can't take any chances in this game, too. That it happened so quickly, too. As you can see here, the Soviets make a lateral across the ice, and Kluche was smart enough to read this, got over, made a great glove save, and you can't take chances on missing net or not, especially that close.
Not great scoring opportunities as yet. But as you said, the Sabres really didn't seem to get into the game in their first couple of shifts. They weren't really taking the body.
What was evident to me in the first couple of shifts was the strength of the Soviets. Not only upper body, but the strength within their skates.
Yashin, Varnikov, and Svetlov. The forward front for the Soviets. Kicked out across the line, Yashin. Back for Gluchenkov. And back to Yashin. This is Varnikov, 22. Good hit. Right at center ice. Verta plays it over to the left side boards. There's Gilles Perreault. Perreault playing it into the corner. Tucker comes out with it. Tucker out in front, takes the shot. Mishkin is down. It's behind him. But it's whistled down. It just trickled in behind Mishkin, but it didn't quite get across the line.
Tucker's a very talented goal scorer, and you can tell on that last series of plays there, he just held on to it and forced Mishkin to come up with a good play here. He'll walk out of the corner, Tucker, and he'll hold. And Mishkin did get a leg or a glove on it and was managed to freeze it.
Pretty good hit.
Good hit right here.
Center ice.
The Soviet just got his eye on it about a fraction of a second, or else it could have been lights out for him too, but they need more of those to get into this game.
Varnikov taking the hit that time. Face off in the Soviet zone. Sabres to the attack quickly. Out in front. Shot. And another one. Whistled just wide. First shot from Sean McKenna. Here's McKenna again. Goes to the backhand. And and it was blocked by Evgeny Popian. Here come the Soviets. Zubrilchev, 18. Got around a check from Ramsey. Out in front, good opportunity and a good hit. Luce didn't have to make the save. The hit supplied that time by Ramsey. Trying to work out in front. The Sabres claim a loose puck. 3-on-2. They dump it into the corner. McKenna didn't see it. Zubrilchev went to an open wing and went too far. Scoreless in the first period. The Dynamo, the Buffalo Sabres. 15 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the opening period. And the makings of a pretty good hockey game at War Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo.
Look what just popped up. The new Sony Handycam. A video camera recorder so tiny, it fits in one hand. To capture every move and hear every sound. Just point and shoot and catch all the fun. The new Sony Handycam. Where will it pop up next?
John Wells along with Jerry Cheevers and Jim Van Horn in Buffalo. Scoreless between the Dynamo and the Sabres. Early in the period, Michigan had to make a big save right off the faceoff. Loose at the side of the net, claimed by the Soviets. This is Bill Yeletinov. Head on the left wing, and it bounces all the way down. Sliding past Kluche. A little bit about Jacques Kluche. Have you noticed anything in his style so far?
Well, he stayed up on a couple of the Soviet shots, too. He's a little guy, and he really can't afford to go down, especially against a Soviet team who can put him up top awful quick. But the last play in the Soviet end would come as a result of losing a draw. Underbuck won it clean back to the point, and Michigan was forced to make a pretty good save.
Antipov at center ice for the Soviets. Piatinov out there, number 24. Soviets from the faceoff, out of their zone. This is Sashov. Sashov across the line. Antipov couldn't come up with it for the Moscow Dynamo. Sabres start back. Good back checking by Antipov. Forced Lacombe off the puck, number 32. One of a couple of rookies in the Sabre lineup against the Dynamo tonight. 32, Norman Lacombe. Andrechuk takes the shot, fired well wide. And Dunn couldn't keep it in at the line. Dunn did control it, got it over to an open wing. The Soviets claim it there. This is Sashov. Back for Piatinov. Now the Soviets with a big line out there. This is Svedlov, 14, offside at the Buffalo line.
Twice in the first 6 minutes, John, the Buffalo seemed to have got caught up in some poor changes, and the Soviets recognize this. They're going to take advantage of it, too, and they've left the whole far side of the ice open, and with the speed of the Soviets, it could be fatal to them.
One thing that's interesting is in international hockey, or the style the Soviets play, there are fewer whistles, so you have to change a little bit more on the go. Maybe that's catching the Sabres off guard a little bit.
Well, they're going to pay for it if it keeps happening.
They'll try and make some adjustments, no doubt. Into the corner after it goes Anderson for Buffalo. This is Sealing. Sealing takes a check from Popian. Out in front. Michigan cleared it aside. Sabres forced to retreat. And control couldn't get it out across the line. Varnikov going in, number 22. Cleared it out front. Svetlov. And on his chance. Chance for the Buffalo Sabres now. Tucker going in. A little too deep that time. Sabres do control. This is Sealing. Tucker taking a check from Bozakov. Varnikov. Tried to feed it through for Svedlov. It's into the Sabre zone. And back for it is Joe Ricci. Gilles Hamil now for Buffalo. Let it get away from him. And the Soviets start back. Yashin for Svedlov. To the line. And standing up at the line making the check was McKenna. Loose again in the neutral territory. McKenna pokes it across. Alkidas now for Buffalo. Cleared out in front. Nicely done that time by Playfair, but no one was there for the Sabres. This is Antipov playing it out for Leonov. Shot. That time from Zubrelchev, and it's up and over the boards, out of play. Next stop on our tour, Spectrum in Philadelphia.
It's going to be a tough spot for the Flames to go into coming up Sunday, especially the way they're going right now.
Boy, they've had a tough string. Lost a lot of goals early in that losing streak, the Calgary Flames, by 1-goal margins. We'll see what they can do against a pretty good hockey team, the Flyers, coming up Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern. Face-off just outside the Buffalo line. It is scoreless in the opening period. The Sabres and the Moscow Dynamo. Final game of the Dynamo's North American tour. Sabres get it to the line. McKenna had his shot blocked by Pervukin. Playfair into the corner after it. Now McKenna. He's tied up behind the net by Bilyuletinov. Comes to McKenna. McKenna, good move to get away from one Soviet player. Tipped it out front, and Playfair didn't have a play. Antipov dumps it over on the left wing. It goes all the way down, and icing will be called against the Dynamo.
The Sabres had something going in the last flurry there, and they got unlucky. The Soviet referee got in the way, but we're looking at Mike Ramsey now, and I think he can't help to reflect back to the gold medal at Lake Placid.
The old miracle on ice that night.
Sure, it was a great time for hockey then, and I'm sure Mike Ramsey has some goosebumps on somewhere.
Well, when you played the Soviets, I would think that a lot of players look forward to their first occasion of playing them, but when you've got a memory like Ramsey's of that gold medal that year, it must be kind of special to play them tonight. This is Housley getting it ahead on the right wing, and it's just dumped in. Racing after it. Ruff couldn't come up with it. Soviets with Skurduk now. Winding up, Skurduk just dumps it in. Cloutier played it ahead for Ruff, and Ruff got it back into the neutral zone. Skurduk back in a hurry. Farudnov couldn't take the pass. Housley to the line, and not very deep. Soviets dumped it in again there, Jerry. They don't do that very often.
Well, they're adjusting to North American hockey very quickly.
Scoreless in the first, the Moscow Dynamo and the Buffalo Sabres.
To all of you who are dedicated to being the best you can possibly be, here's to your 5:30 mile. To your first ever shutout, and to the morning workout where only you are witness to your accomplishments. Here's to the hurts and pain, and to the soothing relief of greaseless, stainless Rub A535. Rub A535. Pay tribute to your muscles.
Face-off in the Soviet zone. It's cleared all the way around by Bosakov. And racing after it is Berta. Berta pass on the left wing, but the Soviets controlling the Sabre zone at least momentarily. Perot couldn't take a pass. Nicely intercepted by Borshevetsky. This is Gilles Perot. Perot around one check at center ice. Got to the line. Couldn't carry it across. Riki now. Riki takes a pretty good hit from Borshevetsky. It comes to Gilles Perot. Perot tried to get it out front. It's back to the line. Back in for Perot. And he couldn't play it. Moving up Riki to play it into the corner. Taken there by Michael Anderson. And it's held along the boards. We'll have a face-off down in the Dynamo zone. Michael Anderson, member of the Swedish national team a couple of years ago, just back from the Canada Cup. And he played for the Swedish juniors in Hamilton last week. Face-off will be to the right of Vladimir Mishkin.
Just watching Cole in that last shift, he picks up against the Soviet team.
He's a beautiful skater, looks effortless out there. Held along the boards, now it comes loose. And the Soviets start up ice. Varnikov, Svetlov, Yashin. Yashin the backhand, save Kluche. Svetlov. Extra attention for him. Now Yashin dumped out in front. Sabres try the left side. Sear pokes it into the Soviet zone. Backcourt is Pervukin, number 5. Something we have been accustomed to seeing is the Soviets icing the puck a great deal.
I think that was their 4th ice in this period, John. The Sabres should be very conservative against the line of Svetlov, Yashin, and Varnikov, too. And
you're right about that. That's the top 3 scorers.
They're a terrific line, and they got caught in a 3-2 Sabres, and unfortunately, the Soviets messed up the play somewhat in the Sabres' end, too. But you got to be conservative against that particular line, or you're going to get stung.
Antipov is out there at center ice for the Soviets. This is Leonev. Leonev dropped it at the line. Miscue there as Zubrilchev didn't read it properly. Mike Foligno for Buffalo can't control it. Now Zubrilchev gets it in across the Sabres line into the corner, and it's taken out of harm's way by Andreychuk, 25. Now Housley ahead for Andreychuk, 2-on-2. Good opportunity for the Sabres as they cross the line. Playfair couldn't make the play. Antipov starts back for the Dynamo. Antipov left it at the line. Cleared out in front. Foligno was the only player there. Kluche forced to play it. Now Playfair. Good check on Foligno by Gluchenkov, 18. This is Varutnov for the Soviets. Got across the line, not deep. Picked up now by Skurduk. He plays it back behind the line. This is Joe Ricci, the rookie. First shot blocked, cleared it out in front, it ricocheted. Mishkin had to make the save. Ricci took the shot, and Sealing got a piece of it, I think. Mishkin had to make a play.
Mishkin made a fine save here, but Ricci made the whole play here, the young defenseman for the Sabres. He has a shot block, walks in on the left boards and directs it at the net. There's a tip. Mishkin falls back into the net and smothers it, too. That was good experience on Michigan's part, too. A young goaltender might have got messed up the play, too. But Michigan, knowing that there could have possibly been a tip, falls back and smothered the play.
Scoreless in the first with 8 minutes, 8 seconds to play. Moscow Dynamo, Buffalo Sabres. That's John Tucker, number 7. He's worked well so far. Tucker gloved that ahead, but it goes to Varutnov. Now Perreault takes a shot well wide of the target. Falls on it. Mishkin. Yuri Moiseev is the head honcho with this Moscow Dynamo team.
I wonder if he's allowed to go back if they lose this game tonight and have a losing series.
I think they'll let him into the country, but they may have moved the furniture out of his apartment or something. From the face-off, it's back to Verta. He had one shot and another. The first one blocked, the second one wide. Perreault in there working along the boards behind the net. Sabres try and get Tucker out front. Working out in front that time was Norman Lacombe, 32. Another of the new faces in the Sabre lineup. Antipov can't take a long pass. It goes all the way down, and Ricci touches it.
I think it's a good sign for the Sabres that they're doing a good job in the Soviet end, because the Soviets have tried to get breakaway passes. That means they really can't come out the way they want.
Big football doubleheader coming up on the Sports Network on Saturday, January the 11th. First game, 3 p.m. Eastern, the East-West Shrine game. And after that, we'll take you live to Japan for the Ricoh Bowl. 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Face-off in the Soviet zone. That's Anderson going to the corner after it. Out in front, McKenna can't get a shot away. He is tied up by Svetlov. Fans would like a penalty on that. Would you have blown the whistle?
Well, the only reason because Michigan froze it there too, but you know, he waved off like no goal or no penalty. I don't know what it was. It wasn't close to being a goal.
Well, I mean, that was safe, he was saying.
Yeah.
Anderson with Sear on the left side. Puck in behind the Soviet net and cleared quickly. That's Ramsey. Ramsey over on the right wing. Got it across. It was offside. McKenna was there.
Sabres have done a pretty good job so far in this period bottling them up. They've maybe had one or two rushes that were dangerous, the Soviet too, but you can't make mistakes. You have to be consistent with this system or else they'll sting you.
Soviets with that big line out there once more. Yashin with Varnikov and Svetlov. 3 leading scorers for the Dynamo on this tour. Sabres a miscue, but they got it out. And it crossed 2 lines.
The Sabres should make sure they always have a third guy back against this line of Svetlov, Varnikov, and Yashin.
Yashin has 7 points, and so does Svetlov in the 3 games in the series so far. They'll bring the faceoff inside the Sabre line, scoreless in the first. Moscow Dynamo against the Buffalo Sabres. Phil Housley banking it off the boards. And ahead for Lindy Ruff. Ruff couldn't control it. This is Gluchenkov. He lost it. It trickled out in front of the net. Sabres didn't get an opportunity out of it. Now Yashin. This is Svetlov. Now Yashin once more. Yashin tries the outside against Richie Dunn. Got it out in front, but Dunn took him to the corner, and the Sabres start back. Housley couldn't control it. Dumped in by Andrechuk. This is Lindy Ruff behind the Soviet goal. Ruff tried to slip it through for Foligno, and Gluchenkov has it for the Dynamo. Ahead for Varnikov. This is Varnikov at the line. Left it for Yashin. Andrechuk broke up the play nicely. Sabres quite content to dump it in. Zubrilchev against Perreault. Zubrilchev had to feed it back to Vosikov. Berta claims it for the Sabres just inside his line. That's Gilles Perreault. Perreault, a back pass. This is Sealing. Sealing back for Perreault. Perreault to the backhand. Cleared it out in front. Michigan had to play it. Tucker. Now along the board, Sealing, as the Soviets have a little difficulty clearing it out of their own zone. Scoreless in the first. 5:03 to play. Nifty move by Antipov. Didn't quite get away with it.
Not really. The guy had him looking in his eyes. He just wouldn't allow him to put it between his legs. Another icing by the Soviets, John, and once again, I think that's in the Buffalo favor.
This is the NHL Soviet Series 86 on the Sports Network, TSN.
It's become a tradition. The best Soviet hockey players are back in North America for a series of games with NHL clubs, and TSN will have great coverage. It's been an exciting series so far, and we've got one more game with the Moscow Dynamo playing the Buffalo Sabres. Join us for the 4th game in this international series, Sabres versus Moscow Dynamo, Wednesday, January 8th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, here on the Sports Network.
Faceoff is in the Soviet zone. Gilles Hamil with Sear and McKenna. Lost the draw. Soviets quick to the attack. Big shot. And Cloutier stood his ground. Picked up now by Sear. .426 left in the opening period. This is Bilya Letonov. Over on the left wing for Skirdak. Skirdak couldn't get around Al-Qaeda's that time. Soviets control though in the Buffalo zone. This is Skirdak taking a weak shot out in front. Varnikov, or Varianov rather. Number 12, chance for the Sabres. Sear fired it wide. Bill Housley now to the Soviet line and across. Housley plays it back. The shot. Mishkin the save. Marudinov takes a heavy check from Michael Anderson. Now McKenna moves in against Marudinov, and they'll hold it for a face-off in the Soviet zone.
Well, there's the Sabre.
It's the Brain Trust up there.
Brain Trust up there, too. And I'm sure Scotty Bowman's enjoying this game, too. I think he's a big fan of international hockey, and he knows you can learn something from the Soviets, and he's taking in a lot tonight.
We'll have a chat with Scotty during our second intermission. General manager of the Buffalo Sabres, also up there Don Luce, one of the assistant coaches to Jim Schoenfeld. Working the bench will be Craig Ramsey along with Schoenfeld. This is Antipov for the Soviets. Check from behind by Anderson. Anderson almost slipped it through for Foligno. And another chance. Now Lindy Ruff got it through for Foligno going in. Two men to beat, and he was checked from behind. Soviets led by Antipov. Ahead now for Borshevetsky. Borshevetsky for Antipov. Man open. And Cloutier had all the angles covered. Played that one pretty well, didn't he?
He sure did. I like the way he played that. But once again, when you give the Soviets a 3-2 opportunity, it can be fatal. They make a good play in this 3-2. Housley commits himself by falling there. But Cloutier got out. A miscue by the Soviet team. But Cloutier read it pretty good. He was over there to force the miscue.
Zabrelchev had a little net to work with, but then couldn't control the bouncing puck, and Cloutier had forced his hand by that time.
People don't think that goaltending is an intelligent position, too, but sometimes you got to figure out the play. I've been told that many a time.
Yashin, Varnikov, and Svetlov. Big line for the Soviets out there. Sabres win the faceoff. Just about costly. There's Yashin moved in. Long pass for Playfair. And he backhanded it into the Soviet zone. Bosakov. Big hit from Playfair. John Tucker. His pass intended for Playfair, taken by Yashin now. Yashin to the line with Svetlov. Svetlov going right in. Cloutier forced him again. Yashin hit the side of the net. This is Varnikov. Varnikov back for Bosakov. His shot blocked. This is Svetlov now. Svetlov tried to sneak one through. 2:36 to play in this first period. Svetlov playing it back out in front. And Popian couldn't make a play. Scoreless in the first, 2 minutes, 19 seconds to play. Sabres and the Moscow Dynamo. As the Dynamo start out, Bosakov ahead for Antipov. Antipov checked neatly by Halkidis. Halkidis backhanded it in for Sean McKenna. McKenna kept it in and was unable to keep it in at that stage. 1:48 to play, opening period. Pervukin, number 5 for the Soviets. Halkidis moves in against him. Now, this is Leonev, number 23. Back to the line. Antipov takes the shot, the save. Cloutier might have been wide of the target, but he held on and steered it aside. Hamel against Antipov. Comes to Foligno. Foligno out for Ruff. Well, you like to now. Richie Dunn played it ahead on the right side. Varudinov was there into the final minute of the opening period. Still scoreless. Skurduk, number 7 for the Dynamo, got it across the line, but Berianov was offside at the Sabres blue line.
I think the only trouble the Sabres have been in this period is when they've allowed the Soviets to penetrate their zone on 3-on-2s, but they have hustled back and to equalize the 3-on-2 very quickly.
Still very interesting to watch the 3-on-2s develop because they start off so many times 2-on-2 and all of a sudden there's another Soviet there to make it a much more dangerous play.
It's never too late to come back against the Soviets.
Soviets keeping it at the line. This is Berianov. In behind the net for Varudinov. Sabres get it out of danger as Glushenkov put it right on the stick of Lindy Ruff. Ruff couldn't cross the line because Andreychuk was trapped inside. Now Foligno. Weak shot, handled easily by Mishkin. Andreychuk. Foligno in the corner. Foligno trying to work himself out in front. Just about got there. Comes to Lindy Ruff. Ruff back in for Andreychuk. Andreychuk was taken out. Foligno now has it behind the net. Right out in front. Trying to get it for Housley with 6 seconds on the clock. Cloutier comes out to set it up for Richie Dunn. And a not bad opportunity for the Sabres in the dying seconds there. But really, Mishkin was not tested too severely in that first period.
No, he wasn't. It was rather a cautious period by both teams. I think the Sabres, by winning a couple draws in the Soviet end, had the better of the opportunities, only because the Soviets mishandled some of their 3-on-2s when they had the opportunity too. So it was a cautious period where no one wanted to give in to the other team, and it was. I don't think there was many scoring threats in that period.
Sabres out shooting the Moscow Dynamo 7-6 in the opening period, but on the scoreboard, that's what you see. Scoreless after 1. We'll get on with our first intermission right after this. You're with the Sports Network TSN, and this is the NHL Soviet Series 86.
Good afternoon from sunny Portugal and the seaside resort of Estoril. 26 cars line up down there below on the grid for the start of round 2 of the 1985 World Championship. There is the green, and a lot of problem for...
Join us for all the excitement of the Portugal Grand Prix, Thursday, January the 9th at 10 p.m. Eastern, just ahead of the evening edition of the TSN Sports Desk.
Back to Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. After 20 minutes of play, there is no score between the Moscow Dynamo and the Buffalo Sabres. Very entertaining first period of hockey. The Dynamo were outshot by the Sabres 7-6. Buffalo enjoying the scoring chances midway through that first period of play. Dynamo coming close later on in that first period of play, but still nobody could put the puck in the net, so it remains scoreless after 20 minutes of play. First period is now over. We are just waiting for forward Mike Foligno to join us. He has just come into the picture. Mike, we just said it was a good period of hockey, and it was very entertaining.
Well, it was. It was up and down hockey, and a lot of changing over with the everybody having a little bit of time of possession, and we're trying to get some shots away, but it seems like every time we try to make a play, it hits a skate or a stick, or it starts to bounce a little bit, and we're just going to keep trying to work at it.
One of the things that Jerry Cheevers noticed early in the period was that you appeared to have a few problems with the line changes. Is that because of the tempo of the game? It's much quicker than a regular NHL game.
It is. There's no doubt about it, and the line changes are coming a little faster right now. The pace is a little faster, and guys are getting a little tired a little more faster, and I think that's the biggest reason why the line changes are quicker.
one of the observations also noted tonight was the fact that the Soviets are icing the puck a lot more. I seem to count about 10 icings, and it's unusual for them to ice the puck 3 or 4 times during the course of the night.
Well, it's not like them to do it, and it's a smaller rink, and I think that's got to be one of the biggest reasons why they are doing it. We're trying to take as much away from them, as much ice away from them as possible, and what we're trying to do from the start of the first shift, we try to cover their defense in their own end so that they can't make that pass across. And it seems like that's the first place one defenseman with the puck looks is to his partner on the other side. And we're eliminating that pass, and it seems like they're a little bit too frustrated, and they're icing the puck. And it's good for us because we're starting to get some draws in their end, and hopefully off the draws we get a couple goals.
I noticed off the start of the game that 4 of the 5 players starting the game tonight on the ice, yourself included, were wearing face masks, the shields. Is that something that we're going to see a lot more of now?
Well, with all the injuries lately, and I just got a cut in the face myself a couple games ago, it seems like there's a lot more high sticking going on. I think it's more accidental than not, because of the fact that the kids coming up are from the junior hockey and college ranks, and they wear the shields there, and the sticks are carried a little higher because of it, and I think they're carrying it into the pro league now, and the younger kids are here, and the sticks are going to be higher. So it makes it tougher for the referees to call it, because it's accidental most of the time.
Mike, let's talk about the Adams division. You're in tough this year. Right now you're in last place, but only 8 points out of first. It's not that you guys have been playing poorly, but your division, the Adams, is really tough.
It's a tough division. Every team's gotten better, and what we've really got to try to concentrate on is when we play well to be a little more consistent and go out the next game and play well. It seems like we have a couple of good games, and then against some mediocre clubs that we should beat, and other teams in our division are beating, we're not doing so well against. So we've got to really pick up the pace against those clubs and realize that we have to go out there and we have to beat those clubs that are under us.
Hope you can do it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Mike Foligno forward with the Buffalo Sabres in this exhibition game between the Moscow Dynamo. We'll take a break, take you back to Toronto for a sports break with Vic Rauter, and come back with highlights with John Wells and Jerry Cheevers.
Did you know that Wayne Gretzky's back? That's right, Wayne Gretzky's back on the front cover of the #1 book about hockey, the NHL's official guide and record book. It's the book that everyone in hockey is talking about. It has the quiz questions, statistics, the photos, the draft choices, and the player information about every NHLer from 1900 to 1986. If you or someone on your gift list enjoys hockey, then the NHL's own official guide and record book is for you. You can get your copy of the NHL guide at any NHL game, wherever books are sold, or by phoning this toll-free number, 1-800-268-1121. That's 1-800-268-1121 to order your NHL guide today.
Hello, everybody. I'm Vic Rauter at the TSN Sports Desk in Toronto with this Wednesday night update. There are 4 games facing off in the NHL. In Montreal, it is the Canadiens and the Boston Bruins. We pick it up, no scoring early. First period, Canadiens start out of their own end. That's Bobby Smith to Craig Ludwig, and his rising shot will beat Pat Riggin, and the Canadiens lead it. It is 1-0. In Toronto, the Edmonton Oilers are making their only visit of the season to Maple Leaf Gardens. And the Leafs get off to a great start. Russ Courtnall picks up the puck at the red line, moves over the blue line, uses Paul Coffey as a screen, and fires a wrist shot. It catches the top corner, 1-0 Maple Leafs. And it appears the Leafs have come to play, or at least Russ Courtnall, as he scores his second of the game, and the Leafs lead 2-0. Now here's the up-to-date scoreboard for you. Boston has come back to tie Montreal 1-1 in the first. Toronto, look at this. Courtnall 2 goals, Freacher, Thomas, Smith, Gretzky with the only goal for the Oilers. They lead 5-1 after 20 minutes. Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, a 1-1 tie. Second, New Jersey, Chicago. It is an 8:30 Eastern start. Well, a group of Calgary businessmen now have put in a bid to buy the CFL Stampeders, and we get all the details from TSN's Dan Giebert.
These are the businessmen who want to buy the Stampeders. There are 10, 7 who wish to remain anonymous until the sale is complete. The three heading the group are solid businessmen. Bill Tanner, Vice Chairman of Financial Trust Co. Jerry Shaw, Vice President and Director of First Marathon Securities. He also played for the Stampeders from 1965 to 74. And finally, Doug Hunter, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Odex Gas and Oil. They had called this press conference yesterday intending to disclose the details of their 3- to 5-year plan to get the Stampeders back on track. At that time, they were the only buyer. However, after the press conference was announced, another group emerged from the woodwork, telling Stampeder President Pat Peacock that they wanted to make an offer as well. Pat gave them a day and a half to make it. So actual details were withheld by the Hunter Tanner Shaw group so that the new group could not take advantage of the information. We were told that the Hunter Tanner Shaw group would not enter in a bidding war. Basically, this is a bankruptcy sale with only one serious buyer in the room, the Hunter Tanner Shaw group. The other group is still kicking tires. They have until noon tomorrow to come up with a formal proposal for the board. Either way, we'll know Monday for sure who's going to take on the Stampeders' debt. Dan Gieberts, TSN, Calgary.
And that baseball rumor is bouncing around Vancouver again. This time it is the San Francisco Giants who would move to BC Place till a new park is built by the Bay.
TSN has just discovered Vancouver is much closer to landing the San Francisco Giants than most had thought. The man leading the charge for Major League Baseball in the city is Senator Ray Perot. Perot now admits that he has indeed been contacted by someone in Major League Baseball about such a move.
I didn't think of the idea in the first place. Somebody in the National League phoned us one day and said, look, there may be a problem here. Are you folks interested? And we said, yeah, we're interested. We'll sit down at some point and talk. We've had a call from an interested person in the National League, not really authorized to negotiate, but just asking what we thought of the idea. And beyond that, we haven't negotiated. We're not in any kind of secret negotiations with Bob Lurie. We like him very much. He's a high-class person, and so is the San Francisco operation. But we're not making any covert or overt moves to try to work against the interests of the baseball fans in the Bay Area. We're just there to help. If they can't find a playing facility in California, if Candlestick is unacceptable to the Giants, we just would be prepared to sit down and talk to them. And maybe we couldn't make a deal. I don't know. But we'll talk.
As you may have heard, the owner of the Giants, Bob Lurie, has made it clear his Giants will not play in Candlestick Park in San Francisco until it receives a multi-million-dollar facelift, and that could take up to 3 years. Lurie first proposed the idea of playing in Vancouver at the winter meetings. That idea was taken one step further this week when the committee looking at ways to solve the Giants' problems let it be known Vancouver was on the top of their list, thanks to the baseball people in Oakland and Denver. The A's simply don't want to share their facility with the Giants, and Denver wants assurances of an expansion team when the Giants return to San Francisco. Baseball organizers in this city are picking and choosing their words very carefully, but at the same time, they are also making it very clear that Vancouver could easily become a home away from home for the San Francisco Giants. David Pratt, TSN, Vancouver.
And briefly this evening, New England wide receiver Irving Fryer will miss Sunday's AFC game with Miami after cutting a couple of fingers on his right hand. Kent Nilsson of the Minnesota North Stars will miss 2 to 4 weeks with a separated shoulder. And John McEnroe, Anders Gomez, both winners AT&T tennis tournament in Atlanta. In just a moment, we'll return to Buffalo. The Sabres and Dinamo scoreless after 20 minutes.
It's crazy, viewer. TV Guide's Crazy 8's Hot Numbers contest. Each TV Guide has a different number. See? Your number's picked, you can win. Crazy 8s. 8 snazzy Renault Alliances, 1 a week. 8 40-inch TVs with VCRs, 1 a week. And a special bonus week draw for 8 trips for 2 to Nassau. Crazy. Crazy 8s. TV Guide's Great Hot Numbers contest continues, right on the cover of the magazine of TV and video that you trust. TV Guide. It improves the view.
Thursday night on the Sports Network. 8:30 soccer with the Freight Rover Trophy Tournament. 10 o'clock, it's the thrills of Grand Prix racing from Portugal. At 11 and 2, the late evening news on Sports Desk. That's all on TSN, where we've got CIAU Volleyball live from the University of Winnipeg, Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Back at the first intermission, scoreless after one, the Moscow Dynamo and the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres out-shooting the Dynamo in that first period, 7-6. And as we looked at it, there weren't a great many scoring opportunities, Jerry.
No, there weren't, John. It was very conservative that period. No one wanted to give away anything. They wanted the other team to earn it. So therefore, there wasn't many scoring opportunities.
Soviets like to ice the puck in that first period. We commented on it during the game, but it's just not characteristic of their style. Do you think they're setting the Sabres up for something?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen the Soviets ice the puck as much as they did in the first period, too. But they're working in something. You know, I think you'll probably see a breakaway before the game's over for the Soviets.
Well, they had a couple of opportunities. First, we'll take you back and show you some opportunities from that opening period, and we'll start off with one for the Buffalo Sabres. A lot of hard work by John Tucker really produced this one.
Well, when you win battles in the corner, you get scoring opportunities, and as we'll see here, Tucker gets involved in the corner. Well, they're coming into the end now. Perot makes a pass into Tucker into the right of Michigan here, and Tucker gets involved with the Soviet defender. And there's a slight battle on the boards, and Tucker really outworks him and gets control of the puck. 24 gets caught up with a Sabre in front of the net. Tucker holds, and Mishka makes a very good save and gets lucky on the rebound because somehow it falls under him. Sealing's in a good spot there. He's got the other defenseman well tied up.
That was as close as the Sabres really got in that period. At the other end of the ice, well, Mr. Kluche was tested a couple of times, and there's one play that maybe shows the quick transition of the Soviets so well here as we look at this one.
Well, this is something that the NHL does a lot, too. Pervukin here, he's in a little trouble. He shoots it around the boards that the Soviets don't do very often, and it's tipped. It's tipped to Varnikov. They catch Hamill in the middle, but Klotzie's out in this. He read it well. He's out. He shut the Soviet forward off and has been able to poke check the puck away from the second fellow. But Cloutier read that well. That's what I like about that play by Cloutier.
And the 2-on-1 works quite well for the Soviets when they can and they make it work so quickly.
It sure is. Quickness is a big part in the 2-on-1 and not really messing up passes.
Antipov and Gluchenkov really get together on this one.
It sure is, too. And as you'll see at the end of this play, Housley, he kind of thinks he's Paul Coffey in the Canada Cup last year. Only Coffey stopped this play. But there's a great pass here, too. And once again, Cloutier rushes the guy a little bit and forces him to flub it. And he gets the quickness of Cloutier reading that play stopped the Soviet forward from getting a real good shot on net.
From a goaltender's standpoint, from your point of view, did Cloutier react really well? Was that good luck or good management on that one?
No, I like what Cloutier did in those two highlights we saw. He was intelligent about it. He wasn't going to stay in his net and have them drill it up top or give them a corner. He forced them to make the mistake.
Scoreless after one. What do the Buffalo Sabres really have to do to come out and maybe get the first goal in this one? They have to start hitting again a little bit more?
Well, I like to see them get the body more in the game right now, too, but they have to create more scoring opportunities. I think they're doing fine defensively, but they want to win the game. They got to get on the scoreboard, and if they get on first, it's going to make a different game of it.
Quite a different first period than we witnessed the other night against the Bruins in Boston. Do you think the Soviets were a little sluggish in that one, perhaps?
Well, both teams, as we mentioned earlier, too, was a conservative period, and either team didn't want to give anything away, but I'm sure it'll be a better hockey in the second and third period. But the Sabres got to take the body, and the Soviets, to have the game in their favor, got to open it up more.
All right, we'll move on to the second period here at the Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo. The Sabres and the Dynamo are even at 0 after one.
It's our taste you'll always remember.
At Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's our taste that makes us famous. We alone have the Colonel's secret recipe of 11 herbs and spices. And we use only the finest, freshest ingredients to bring you a taste like no other chicken.
It's our taste that makes us famous. It's our taste when you're having fun. It's our taste that makes us famous. It's our taste.
The hard-charging excitement of U.S. college football is on the Sports Network. Join us for the very best action from various conferences. There's nothing quite like the thrills of college football with its head-to-head rivalry. 3 Canadians, including Ruben Mays, are in the East-West Shrine Game, and the Heisman Trophy winner Bo Jackson is featured in the Rico Bowl. Both games are on January the 11th, live and exclusive on TSN.
minutes of this hockey game is now history. There you see the score, 0-0 between the Moscow Dynamo and the Buffalo Sabres. Final game of a 10-game exhibition series that the Soviet teams have been participating with against NHL competition. Really not too difficult to give you the scoring summary of that first period of play. There was no scoring, but shots on goal favored the Buffalo Sabres by a 7-6 count. Well, the general consensus of everybody here in the Zamboni is that the first period of play was pretty interesting, and we're going to look forward to the next 40 minutes of hockey. Our regular NHL hockey coverage resumes on Sunday night. We will feature the Calgary Flames in Philadelphia against the Flyers. 7 p.m. Eastern is the starting time. The Flames mired in a terrible slump. Hopefully they'll be out of it by then and playing some good hockey, but that's a 7 o'clock start. Calgary Flames at Philadelphia against the Philadelphia Flyers. We are just about set to get underway for the second period of play. The players are back on the ice, so let's go upstairs to John Wells and Jerry Cheevers.
Okay, Jim. No scoring, no penalties in that period either.
Yeah, I don't know why they played it, really. But they're filling each other out, these teams, and something's going to happen this period, too. They can't lay dormant for 60 minutes.
Is the Sabre defense backing in a little bit?
Well, actually, I thought the opposite, John. I thought when they had the man back, they stood the Russians up at their blue line, too. And that, when you have teams that are as dangerous as the Soviets on 3-on-2 and 2-on-2 situations, if you can stand up the blue line, you'll cut off their scoring opportunities.
Jacques Cloutier and Vladimir Mishkin facing off against each other at opposite ends of the ice. You've played Mishkin a time or two, haven't you?
I played against him once, and it's a game I'd rather forget. He got a shutout that game.
Obviously you didn't.
Obviously, too, because someone had to win the game.
He's a veteran, 30 years of age, and still rated as the best goaltender in the Soviet Union. Underway in the second period. This is Yashin. Quickly to the attack. Yashin over for Svetlov. And he's taken out. Comes back to Yashin. Back to the line. The shot deflected out in front by Varnikov, number 22. Cloutier had it well covered. Yashin goes down. Yashin was clipped with a high stick, I believe. It appeared to be accidental. But Yashin got one in the chops. He might not even go off the ice.
No, he's just cut a little bit in the lip there, too. I missed the high stick there, to be truthful.
Alkidis will go off for high sticking. The referee didn't miss it.
Yashin gets, oh, there it is, too. It was accidental, too, but I think this call has to be called more in the NHL during the play of the NHL, too. It might just settle down the high sticking.
See more and more players wearing the visors.
And it's situations like that where it's going to be very protective for them.
Power play for the Soviets, first penalty of the hockey game. And it's rifled off the boards and all the way down the ice by Ramsey. Pervukin back for the Soviets. Alkidis in the box, the Soviets on the power play. To the Sabre line. Varnikov tried to play it off to the right wing and hit a skate and deflected to neutral territory. Pervukin over for Bilyaletdinov and quickly ahead for Varnikov, number 22. Into the middle for Bilyaletdinov. And here's Svetlov going right in. Great save by Jacques Cloutier. Cloutier went down after making the save, but he had his angles well covered. He read it well.
Cloutier did read that well, John. He outlasted Svetlov in that play.
Wild shot fired high and over the target by Paul Cyr. The Sabres a man short, keeping it in the Soviet zone to kill off some seconds of this penalty. Varnikov now to the line. Bilyaletdinov back in for Varnikov. Varnikov lost it in there, and it's cleared down by the Sabres once more. Paul Cyr.
Well, the Sabres haven't given the Soviet a chance to set up in their end, and that's good. And here's, no, they elected to let it go.
Verta dumps it back into the Soviet zone. Pervukin, one bank off the boards. As he got it to Varyanov, back for Pervukin, and ahead for Varyanov again. He tried to slip it through for Skurduk. Sabres very effective killing out this penalty to Halkitis for high sticking. Just 20 seconds remain in the Soviet manpower advantage. Varudinov to skirt up. Over on the right side. Bilyaletdinov takes the shot, deflected out in front. It got through Kluche. Made the play. Varudinov tips it in. And Halkitis is back on the ice. So the Sabres very effective in killing out that penalty. That's Halkitis after it now. And icing called.
Sabres did a terrific job of killing that penalty. They forced the Soviets into 3 or 4 mistakes and didn't allow them to set up in their end.
17:33 to play in the second period. It is still scoreless at the Memorial Auditorium. The Odd in Buffalo. He was one of the great penalty killers, Craig Ramsey, wasn't he?
Sure was, too. And they use the rink in here to their advantage killing penalties. They just try and get the opposition on the boards where they don't have enough room to move it.
Ramsey 1 year away from the game, and behind the bench is an assistant coach to Jim Schoenfeld. He's in his first season as head man in Buffalo. Gluchenkov ridden off into the boards by Andreychuk. This is Leonev. Across the line, has a man open on the right side, and the backhand didn't work that time for Pyatonov. Pyatonov just fired it wide. Adipov couldn't get to it. That's Ruffin forechecking. Zubrilchev, 18. And Ruff is back to break up the play for the Sabres. Comes to Leonov. He couldn't make a play. Zubrilchev had it out front. Ruff took command. The puck goes into the corner. This is Richie Dunn for the Sabres. Ahead for Ruff. Ruff had to go off his stick. Leonov going right in. Chance out in front. Leonov had a chance to shoot. Passed it. Maybe one too many. Into the corner after it. Medyanov, number 12 for the Soviets. It goes to the other side. Perreault is in there for Buffalo. And Berta makes the play to let Playfair get a pass over on the right side. This is Gilles Perreault, one man to beat, and the goaltender right out in front. Oh, Playfair. And a chance nicely set up by Gilles Perreault.
There were 3 good plays in this particular rush, too. Gilles Perreault made a terrific play. Andreychuk made a good play getting the shot away, and Mishka made the great save. Perreault has got control here, takes the defenseman over, makes a great pass to Andreychuk, gets a good shot away, and Mishkin, the veteran that he is, got his stick glove on it and made a very good save there. Second angle here, Perreault makes a good pass. Andreychuk, who is a gifted goal scorer, makes a right on target, and Mishkin read it well and made I think his best save of the game.
Face-off is in the Soviet zone. Scoreless in the second period. John Tucker couldn't handle the draw that time. Bosakov for the Soviets, number 4, plays it ahead of the boards. This is Perreault after it. Perreault playing it back behind his line for Riki, number 31. And the Soviets force the Sabres back behind their net to regroup. This is Hannu Verta. Verta for Perreault. Perreault couldn't get around the Soviet defense standing up at the line. It's held just inside the Soviet blue line for a face-off.
Playing in the Soviet League, I guess the defensemen are very used to staying up, too, because of the onslaught of rushes that the opposition has. You back in against a Soviet team, you're in trouble. And playing in that Soviet League here, the defense have learned to stand up, and they stood up very well in that particular play.
Just inside the Soviet line for this face-off. Sabres win it. Control. Flip to the corner. Pretty good charge in there for Sean McKenna as he took one Soviet out of the action. But Svetlov leads the attack back. This is Pervukin. Ahead for Varnikov. Varnikov for Yashin. His shot goes off Halkitis. Pervukin kept it in. Kluche set it up for Ramsey. That's Mike Ramsey. Chance for the Sabres. 2-on-1. McKenna on the right side. Hamil takes the shot. Mishkin the save. Bilyaletdinov in against Hamil. Yashin now for Svetlov. This is Svetlov, 14. to the Sabre line. Halkitis has him tied up, but he drops it back for Bill Yelektinov. Shot right on. Yashin, the shot. Cloutier the save, and it was danger there for a moment. Now McKenna has an opportunity. Mishkin has the save. Action picking up in the second period now. Hemil out in front. Halkitis couldn't direct it. This is Svetlov. One man to beat. Can't get around. Richie Dunn out in front. Two Soviets were there, but Ruff is back to claim it for the Sabres. Got it to the line, and not quite out now. It trickles out across the Buffalo line. Gluchenkov going in. Gluchenkov, and the save made by Cloutier. To the side of the net. Cloutier will hang on for a whistle. We'll have a face-off in the Sabre zone. Better action there in that stretch of the second period, but it's still scoreless. The Dynamo and the Sabres.
Something before dinner, sir.
I'd like half a bottle of Golden.
A half bottle, sir?
Of Molson Golden.
Howard, you won't believe this, but there's some weirdo over there who wants a half bottle of Golden. And this gentleman would like the other half. Stuart, would you like the top half or the bottom half?
You're smooth, son. Smooth as golden.
Face-off will be just inside the Sabre zone at the circle to the right of Jacques Cloutier. Here it is, the setup. Always important. The Soviets, when the drive comes out across the line. Gluchenkov avoids a check. Here's Farudinov. Couldn't quite control a pass. And the Sabres led by Housley to the attack. Over on the left side for Lindy Ruff. Mishkin the save. And it's caught up in his pad, so he hangs on.
Both goaltenders are playing very well, John, and especially the series before this. They made some fine saves here, but Housley makes a good pass to Ruff here. And Ruff does get a shot away, but Mishkin's equal to the task. He's out, shuts him off, and just freezes the puck.
Vladimir Mishkin. First team Soviet All-Star in the first division.
He's got great poise, Mishkin. Nothing seems to bother him.
You say he's the smiling goaltender. Is he the only one of the club that smiles a lot?
He might be the only one in the universe.
Lindy Ruff lost it to Antipov. Antipov starting down to the line, dropped it back. The shot just wide, fired by Leonov. Cloutier made a move on it, but it was wide of the target. Ruff ahead now for Foligno, but across two lines. And a Soviet player is down. Vosikov, number 4. I think he got it in the face, too. Maybe we can see it here.
He did. Ruff is trying to get it out of his end, and Vashikov comes in quite low to the plate, too. It's funny how things go. I shouldn't say funny, but how things go. There's more facial injuries in the last while than I've ever seen in the game, too, and hopefully this isn't serious. Well, it looks like it got him in the throat, John.
It was the puck flipping up that time, not a stick, I believe.
No, it was the puck. Ruff was just trying to get it out of his zone, and Vashikov came in, and he just got it in the throat.
It wasn't a hard drive anyway. It was flipped up.
Ruff has just got one thing in his mind. Get it out of your end.
Face-off will be just inside the Sabre line. That's John Tucker, number 7. Going against Antipov, number 25. Leonov and Zubrilchev. The rest of the forward front for the Moscow Dynamo on this line. Leonov falling in the corner. Verta plays it around behind his goal for Riki. Riki tried to get it through for Tucker that time, and dangerously close again to Cloutier. He played it to the side of the into the corner, and here comes Perreault. Perreault over for Verta, as the fast break didn't work for the Sabres that time. Sealing moving in with Perreault. Now Tucker. This is Perreault with the puck. Perreault circling around behind the net. Left it there for Tucker. Bill Yelektinov takes over for the Soviets. Verta kept it in. Sealing didn't see it coming. Antipov now. The pass on the right side for Zubrelchev, and they're offside. Lots of tennis action coming ahead on the Sports Network. We'll have a men's doubles competition, the World Championship, Saturday and Sunday, beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern, January 11th and 12th. That's in the morning, so you can get up and have breakfast and watch tennis from jolly old London, England. Paul Cyr, chance for the Buffalo Sabres, tucked it to the side of the net. He was well past the target. Mishkin had the angle covered. Soviets led now by Sasha, 15. Lost it in the center zone. Borshavetsky couldn't get anywhere. Now Hamill. Sasha. Now it comes to Cyr for the Sabres. He got it barely across the line into the corner. Gluchenkov is there for the Soviets. Playfair moves in. Playfair got it back to the line. Ramsey the shot. Loose out in front. Cyr fired it wide on the rebound. Hamel to Playfair. Playfair couldn't play it. Gluchenkov ringing it off the boards. It's all the way down. And Ramsey touches for an icing call against the Dynamo. Still scoreless.
Soviet player must have known who Larry Playfair is, because he elected not to go in the corner with him. By doing that, he was able to get the puck back to Ramsey, who just directed in front of the net.
Mike Ramsey, he's a big one too, 6'3", 195.
He's a very valuable player to the Sabres. He's their ace penalty killer in defense, and he logs a lot of ice time for him.
Barnikov dropping it back for Yashin. Yashin takes the shot. Kluche got a piece of it. Yashin played it back to the line, into the corner, played there by the Soviets. Barnikov, number 22 for Yashin. Good pressure by the Soviets now as they control in the Sabre zone. This is Svetlov trying to find room to move. Checked by Foligno. High stick out in front. It wasn't called. And now play is whistled down as one of the linesmen spotted it. 10 minutes, 55 seconds to play in period 2.
Recently, the $13,000 Chrysler LeBaron GTS challenged the $29,000 BMW 528e to a high-performance duel. In crucial tests, LeBaron GTS beat the legendary BMW, and it will keep on beating BMW.
As a result of that high stick just in front of Jacques Kluche, they call for a face-off at center ice. Soviet player was guilty of the infraction. Yashin flipped it in across. This is Verta for the Sabres. Anu Verta plays it ahead on the right side. Perot couldn't claim it. Bosikov. Tucker stole it. And Svetlov got it right back. Played off the boards by Tucker, but claimed by the Soviets quickly. Barnikov. And Bosikov backhands it back to Svetlov. Here's Yashin, a chance with one man to beat. Yashin has a man coming in on the other side. Worked right in. Verta won the draw.
Verta played that terrific, John.
Stood his ground, and the Soviets had a 2-on-1 and never got a shot on goal. Here they come again, though. Veryanov, number 12, to the backhand. Veryanov, and he's robbed by Jacques Kluche. Big save for Kluche with Veryanov going in. Sabres come right back to the Soviet line. Out in front. Alkidas couldn't make a play. This is Sean McKenna coming up with it. McKenna's down, up again. No penalty call. McKenna ridden off into the boards by Bilyaletdinov. And this is Bilyaletdinov clearing it out of the way and all the way down the ice ice. They ice it again. A little pressure from the Sabres forced that.
Well, the Sabres can't continually get away with making the mistakes they did in that shift. First of all, I don't know how often the Soviets have a 2-on-1 and don't get a shot in goal. We'll see a great play by Verta coming up here. Number 19, the rookie defenseman, he gets caught here.
Alkidas.
Oh, this is the breakaway. But Cloutier holds his, well, he gets caught a little bit. He comes over with that stick and just shuts this guy off. And it was, once again, Cloutier's been very strong tonight.
That was a big save right there. No doubt about that.
The shift just before that, though, the Soviets had a 2-on-1 and did not get a shot off. That doesn't happen very often, but Verta made a great play on it.
McKenna clears it around in behind the Soviet goal. Now Glushenkov for the Dynamo. This is Leonov. Leonov ridden out. Neatly done that time by Richie Dunn. They keep coming, though. Here's a chance. And Cloutier makes another big save. That time on Zubelchev, 18. Glushenkov kept it in at the line. Zubelchev once more. Antipov now. And I think he might have run that one off the goalpost on the outside. Glushenkov for Antipov. Good forechecking by McKenna, though, forces the Soviets back behind their line to regroup. Leonov for Zubelchev, 18. Leonov coming in on the other side, couldn't control a pass. Cloutier setting it up for Phil Housley. This is Housley. Can't get around number 24, Pyatanov. Soviets to the line, kept in by Andreychuk. Zubelchev now. Zubelchev goes to the backhand. Cloutier stood his ground. And it went off a leg and into the goal. The red light is on. Cloutier is down there arguing with the officials, the two linesmen anyway.
I sort of agree with Cloutier in this call. I think the Soviet player directed this in on purpose. If it's accidental and he doesn't direct it, it should count. But let's look at it again here. This player makes a great play to Zubelchev. He makes the save, Cloutier.
I don't know, maybe Varianov, number 12, really didn't see it.
Cloutier makes the save. The puck flips in the air.
Oh, maybe he did. From that angle, it looks like he played it right off his body.
Well, I'm going to side with Cloutier there. I don't think that goal should have counted.
Well, I knew you'd be on Cloutier's side.
I got to be on the goaltender's side, too, but...
From one angle, it looked as if he didn't really see it coming, and then from the reverse angle, the back angle, it looked like he played it rather innocent, or tried to look innocent.
I like to bet that the Soviet knew what he was doing all the time.
It says 1-0 on the scoreboard, though.
It's a shame. Cloutier has played a solid game up to now.
And he made the initial save on the play. 12:09, the time of the first goal in the hockey game. The Dynamo out in front of the Buffalo Sabres, 1-0. Zubelchev and Varianov combining for the goal. This is Sealing for the Sabres. Lots of open ice for Buffalo. Sealing takes it across center ice and dumps it in. After it is Perreault. He couldn't get there first. The Soviets control in their zone. Kept in at the line by Henry Verta. Verta and around behind the net, trying to get it through for Gilbert Perreault. Comes to Perreault now. Perreault feeds it into the corner. Tucker working against two Soviet players. He comes out on the losing end as Varianov got it out across the blue line for the Soviets. This is Vozikov, number 4. Alkidas plays it for Perreault. Gilbert Perreault. Perreault had to do it all by himself that time. No help, and Sashov starts back for the Soviets. Varnikov couldn't get anywhere. Borshevetsky. Sabres had a little difficulty clearing out of their zone. This is Anderson. He couldn't get around Bilyaletdinov. Yashin is out there now with Varnikov, 22. Svetlov got it across the line. Not very deep as Anderson takes over for the Sabres. Yashin has a man out in front. Played it to the second man coming in, Varnikov. He was checked. They scored. Yashin set up that time by by Varnikov. It is quickly 2-0 for the Soviets.
Well, there's that line again of Yashin, Varnikov, and Svetlov. They're a very dangerous line, which is very evident here. Yashin, in the original play, he elected to hit the third guy coming in. And the puck is bouncing around here, and somehow ends up in Yashin's stick, and he just puts it in the open net, too. But
Varnikov played it over here, 22.
Varnikov to Yashin, and right in the open corner. But the play was Yashin, when he made the original pass, elected not to hit the first guy, but the second guy, and the Sabres skated by the play. The Sabres got to keep their cool now and create some more scoring opportunities for themselves.
Soviets into a 2-0 lead in the Buffalo Sabres with 6:04 to play in the second period. And again, icing is the call. Tough break for Buffalo on the first goal. And then they kind of maybe dozed off a little bit, backed in a little bit too far in the second. It's 2-0 Dynamo.
Well, you can't give that the Yashin line time to maneuver in your end, or it's fatal to you. But the Soviets have that ability to outlast you.
They are so patient.
Yeah, they have great patience.
Andrechek at center ice for the Sabres. Back to the line. This is Forudinov. Forudinov for Skurduk. Skurduk tries to get around Ramsey. Shot fired wide, that time by Verianov, number 12. Kept in by Gluchenkov. This is Forudinov. He takes a check in there from Richie Dunn. Andrechek. Ahead to the Buffalo line. And it's fired in by the Sabres, but not very deep that time by Lacombe. Winding up that shot from Lacombe. High and out of play and amongst the spectators at the odd in Buffalo. The Dynamo quickly into a 2-0 lead on Buffalo.
It's crazy, viewer. TV Guide's Crazy 8's Hot Numbers contest. Each TV guide has a different number. See? Your number's picked, you can win. Crazy 8s. 8 snazzy Renault Alliances, 1 a week. 8 40-inch TVs with VCRs, 1 a week. And a special bonus week draw for 8 trips for 2 to Nassau. Crazy. Crazy 8s. TV Guide's Great Hot Numbers contest continues right on the cover of the magazine of TV and video that you trust. TV Guide. It improves the view.
John Wells along with Jerry Cheevers and Jim Van Horn. Second period action, the Dynamo and the Buffalo Sabres, the face-off, will be in the Moscow zone. Tucker got the draw. Back to Verda. Verda fed it through. That was Perot out front trying to tip it home. Now the Soviets, led by Antipov down the right side. He's ridden out, but comes up with the puck anyway. In for Leonev. Sabres intent to dump it in. Verda flipped it into the corner. It's loose for John Tucker. Tucker works it to the other side. Shot fired to the side of the net. This is Tucker working in. The backhand was weak and didn't make it through. Sealing trying to feed it through to a teammate behind the net. That was Gilles Perreault.
A hand pass by the Soviet there. It's very important for the Sabres right now is not that they have to get a goal before the period's over, but they cannot allow another goal. They have plenty of time to tie this game up, and it doesn't have to be done in 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
That's what remains in the second period. The Dynamo with 2 quick goals, 12:09 and 13:47 of the second period. Verianov and Yashin.
It's a critical time now for the Sabres. The last 4 minutes of the second period won the game for the Dynamo against Boston the other night.
Boston had a 1-goal lead at that stage. Sabres controlling in the Dynamo zone. This is Hamel. Number 9 for the Sabres. He's in tough territory down there. Now they score at the side of the net. It ricocheted in, a wild and crazy goal.
Anytime you direct the puck at the net, it's a potential scoring chance. Paul Cyr, he just fired it to the front of the net. It either went in off Hamel or the Soviet defenseman.
Hamel was
Soviet
there.
Centerman.
Verianov, number 12 for the Soviets.
Hamel did some good work here getting, goes back to Sear. He just directs it to the front of the net. And it either went in off of Varianov or off of Sear.
Off Hamill. It was Sear firing out. Sear gets credit for the goal. Svedlov now for the Soviets, cleared it out in front. It comes back for Svedlov into the corner. He got away from Hamel. Back to the line, winding up with a shot and ricocheted wide. Gluchenkov's drive that time. Yashin now. 2-1. Sabres trailing the Moscow Dynamo. Back to the line. And a miscue as the Soviets couldn't keep it in. Barnikov playing it out for Yashin on the right side. He winds up with a shot. Blocked by the defense. Barnikov flipped it out in front. And Kluche wisely goes down on it.
Against this line of Yashin's line, you should freeze the puck as much as possible. And I think Cloutier knew that, and he wants to change. Not only for his team, but to get the Yashin line off the ice.
That makes good sense to me. 2-1. Big goal for the Sabres into the final 4 minutes.
It could end up a big goal as long as they're not scored against before the end of the period.
Varudinov, number 20. Flips it into the corner from the face-off, goes after it. He can't control. Bad pass, cleared to the line. Kept in by the Soviets. Popian fired wide, number 6. Marianov. Now Skurdok. Skurdok, number 7. Having a good time out there. No one can catch him. Finally, Richie Dunn takes the puck away. 3:04 to play, second period. Soviets going in. Varianov playing it back for Varudinov. Kluche the save. And on the rebound. Loose out in front. Kluche, one big save. And it is finally pushed out of play by the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, Kloutier's played very well tonight, and the reason it's 2-1 is Jacques Cloutier. There's a point-blank shot. He holds his ground, makes the save on a deflection. Gets up in time to hinder the shooter again, just to make him hold it and give the Buffalo defense a chance to get back in the action.
Varudinov, number 20, coming close, but it remains 2-1.
Cloutier, very strong tonight, John.
I think he has played well. Several big saves. Had no chance on the second goal. And is still likely not convinced the first one should have counted. That's Perreault along the boards, number 11 for the Sabres. He got it to Sealing. Ricocheted off the leg, and Verta has to play it. Now Sealing, check from behind, cleared in by Anderson. Antipov now claims a loose puck at center ice, over for Leonard. Leonard gets the shot, Kluche the save. Zubrilchev in, now it comes to Leonard for the Soviets. 2:17 to play in the second period. 2-1 for the Moscow Dynamo. And held along the boards for a face-off in the Sabres zone.
You know, someone once told me that the Soviets couldn't shoot. And I don't think it was a goaltender who said that.
That was in 1946 they couldn't shoot.
Right. Once again, Cloutier is out in this shot and plays it very well. Varnikov, a dangerous shooter. Cloutier's right out, gets his stick on it, makes the save. That was more or less a routine save for Cloutier.
Well, he handled it well. Got the rebound out of the way. This is Svedlov for the Soviets. Into the corner, Varnikov. Now back for Svedlov, trying to control it along the boards. The Sabres break it up, and it comes back to Svedlov. Now cleared out Gluchenkov for the Soviets. And quickly they're right back in. This is Varnikov going in, shoots, scores! One man left back, Alkidis. And Varnikov played it perfectly.
The Soviets have just had too many chances to only be ahead 2-1, and the Sabres paid for it right here. Varnikov was in, and sooner, even though this drifts through Cloutier, sooner or later they had to score. They're just getting too many clear-cut chances. I don't know where the other Sabre defenseman went to in this particular goal. But once again, it's the Varnikov, Yashin, and Svetlov line that's doing the damage.
1 minute 50 seconds now to play in the second period. The Sabres have fallen behind by 2 once more. It is 3-1 for the Moscow Dynamo. Yashin over on the right side. Svetlov. Now Varnikov. Sabres try to kick it in across the line. The Soviets come right back. This is Yashin, 13. Trying to get a little fancy in there, and it goes to the corner where Svetlov takes over. Svetlov takes a pretty good hit from Richie Dunn. Soviets keep coming, though. Yashin playing it out in front. The shot fired just wide that time by the defenseman, Payantanov, number 24.
Svetlov makes a very good pass here and gets it back and gives it back again. What a give and go by these fellas. I thought Cloutier shut him off very good too, but they made 3 passes in the Buffalo zone there, and that shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Mishat Farudanov, starry left winger, wears number 20, veteran of several international competitions. Sabres just missed getting it through for John Tucker. Into the final minute of the second period now as Sealing dumps it in. Tucker in after it. Tucker comes up with a puck, trying to clear it out in front. It's flipped up and over the boards as it went off the stick that time. Victor Skurdak, number 7.
Well, we mentioned through the whole game, John, if the Sabres didn't take care of that one line, they'd be in trouble, and it's certainly what's happened.
Well, that line leads the Dynamo in scoring in this tournament and back home in the Soviet Elite Division. Back to the line. The shot fired. Mishkin the save. Shot that time from Riki. Mishkin didn't have a great deal of difficulty with it. Riki gets another chance here. Good move to get around one player. No penalty called, although the fans in Buffalo would like to see one. This is Riki dumping it into the corner. 30 seconds left on the clock, second period. In after it for the Sabres. Anderson got it back to the line, but it's out on the cross. And Berta is back to play it against Farudanov. Anderson got it ahead for Sealing. Sealing couldn't get anywhere with it. This is Riki. And back for Riki. Joe Riki playing his first game with the Sabres this season. He hasn't looked too out of place either. Joe Riki. 3-1. Sabres trail the Moscow Dynamo after 2 full periods, and that third goal may be a little tough to come back on now, Jerry.
It sure was. You know, the Sabres weren't in a bad position until the third goal. They're going to go in not playing a very good period and only being down by a goal too. But it's not the end of the world for the Sabres. They just cannot give up any more goals early in the third period, and they have to create more scoring opportunities. As awesome as the Soviets looked offensively that period, they had a very good period of defense. They shut the Sabres down time and time again and turned it over into great scoring opportunities for them.
A reasonable indication, I would think, from that period is the score, 3-1, but also shots on goal. A total after 2 periods for the Soviets, 22. For the Buffalo Sabres, 14.
Is a great year for hockey fans on the Sports Network. Throughout January, we'll feature Calgary, Philadelphia, Toronto, and the New York Islanders in 4 exciting matchups. Our first game in 1986 will be Sunday, January the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern, with the Calgary Flames in Philadelphia to play the Flyers. There's great NHL hockey action all winter long on TSN.
Back at the Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo, all the scoring in the second period of play. The Dynamo leading the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 3-1. Very pleased to welcome the general manager of the Sabres, Scotty Bowman, with us now. Scotty, we've heard a lot of comments during the series from various general managers and coaches. Some of them like these exhibition games, some of them don't. We got the feeling before tonight's game that you actually look forward to these contests.
Well, you know, the league canvasses the different teams, and Buffalo's had a good experience in 2 other games, so you know, it's maybe not the best of everything, but I think, you know, the players are playing as hard as they can, and the fans seem to enjoy it. Of course, it would be better if we could score a couple of goals and get back into the game, but we've had good experiences with the Soviets.
Glenn Sather said he enjoys playing against the Soviets because he learns so much. What do the Buffalo Sabres learn?
Well, I think if you look at their club, you know that it's like any good team. You can't give them those outnumbered situations, and I would say the way they keep playing at the same pace. You know, I thought at the end of the first period that we had contained them fairly well. In the second period, despite the fact that they scored the 2 goals, they did have quite a territorial edge on us, and you know, we just got running around a little bit and created some chances for them. I certainly wouldn't fault our goaltender because I don't think he had much of a chance on both goals.
The injury factor during the regular season is always there. Does it hurt more if you would lose a player such as a Perreault or a Playfair or a Ruff in a game like this one?
Well, I think you can lose them at any time, so I don't think the injury factor can be a big factor because players get hurt in practice, and the games aren't that physical, really. They're not grudge matches, so to speak. They're well played, and they're played fairly hard, but I don't think there's any more risk of an injury here than anywhere else.
You really don't seem to get the chippiness in these games like there was in the past. They used to come into these games with a lot of emotion. Now they seem to be really sticking to hockey.
Well, I think it's been established that we can't run them out of the rink and they can't run us out of the rink. So they're a hard-played game, of course, but I don't think they're chippy. That's the main reason that we like to play them. You know, the sticks aren't up high, and there's a lot of good contact, and of course there's a lot of good plays as well.
One of the things that has really impressed me about the Dynamo team that we've seen on this tour is that there really isn't a lot of difference between the top player and the bottom player. They all skate hard, they all have very good shots.
Well, you have the second best team of their 13-team league, and we have maybe a third of their national team on this team, so, and probably a lot of others that would strive. The big thing in Soviet hockey is to make the national team. And that's a big carrot out there, so it's similar to trying to make the National Hockey League. And naturally, if a player makes this level with Soviet hockey and is able to tour for his country, you can be rest assured that he's a top-notch player.
There was talk before the series started that the caliber of play in the Soviet Union has been declining in the last couple of years. But you look at the success the Red Army had, the way the Dynamo's playing tonight, the juniors just won the World Championship. It doesn't look like they're suffering.
No, they had an off season last year, but like any great team, you're going to lose sometimes, and they did have a bad year because their juniors lost. They lost the Canada Cup, and of course this year they've come back and won the juniors, and they had a midget team in Quebec that went to the finals. So we know by the numbers that play in the country that they have to develop hockey players, and of course these tours have helped them a lot because I think they when they first came over, they were not good defensively. They were very vulnerable. In fact, they were always, their best defense was their attack, but now they've learned to take the body. They're much more difficult to score on than they were 10 or 15 years ago.
Scotty, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jim.
Scotty Bowman, general manager of the Buffalo Sabres. Informative talk. We have a sports break with Vic Rauter coming up, and then highlights with Jerry Cheevers and John Wells. Back to Buffalo after this.
No, I like you should play more like molten gold and
smooth,
smooth, huh? That's molten gold. That's smooth. Grazie.
A complete news report on PGA Golf makes Wednesday night an evening to look forward to here on the Sports Network. At 11 o'clock, Canada's only national sports newscast, the TSN Sports Desk. At 11:30, the award-winning NFL Films. At 12, final round coverage of the first PGA tournament of '86, the Bahamas Classic. At 2, the TSN Sports Desk Final, followed by Canadian College Magazine, NFL Films, and Ski TV. And that's all right here on TSN, where Big League Soccer features the Freight Rovers Tournament Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Rauter at the TSN Sports Desk with this Wednesday night update. Checking the NHL scoreboard, there are 4 games on the ice. In Montreal, the Canadiens trying to move into first place in the Adams division as they play the Boston Bruins. No scoreless score early first period, and the Canadians start out of their own end. Bobby Smith to Craig Ludwig, and his rising shot will beat Pat Riggin. Habs lead 1-0. The Bruins come back and tie it when Gord Kluzak, playing on the left wing, digs it out for Randy Burge. Burge beats Steve Penny for his 6th goal of the year. Tied at 1. Late in the first period now, Habs with a 3-on-2 break. Walter, Richer, Deblois. Walter on the left side takes Deblois' pass. 2-1 Canadians after 1. In Toronto, the Maple Leafs surprising the Edmonton Oilers. They led it 5-1 after 20 minutes at Maple Leaf Gardens. And the Leafs get off to a great start. Russ Courtnall picks up the puck at the red line, moves over the blue line, uses Paul Coffey as a scream, and fires the wrist shot top corner. 1-0 Leafs. And the Leafs continue their fine first period play. Again, it is Courtnall. Takes on Andy Moog rebound, gives the Leafs a 2-0 lead. With the Leafs out in front 3-0, the Oilers finally get on the board. Yeri Curry shot from the point deflected by Wayne Gretzky. 3-1 for the Leafs. But Toronto gets that one back when Steve Thomas rifles one off the face-off. That makes it 4-1. It was 5-1 Leafs after 20 minutes in what had to be one of their best periods of the season. In Chicago, the Blackhawks, they are hot. The New Jersey Devils are not. Chicago winning 5 straight. New Jersey losing 8 in a row heading into tonight's action. First period, let's have a look. Troy Murray circles out of his corner, fires his 24th of the year. 1-0 Blackhawks. Still in the first now, it is Kenny Yaremchuk carrying the puck in to make a great backhand pass to Bill Watson. All alone, Chicago leaves it 2-0. And here are the up-to-date scores for you now. It is now Montreal 4-1. On goals by Ludwig, Walter, Naslund, and Curvers. Burridge has scored for the Bruins' second period. Now this is the updated score from Maple Leaf Gardens in a shootout. They have completed 40 minutes. The Leafs lead 7-6. Courtnall with 2, Thomas with 2. Singles to Freacher, Smith, and Clark. Gretzky has the hat trick for the Oilers. Singles to Suominen, McClellan, and Coffey. Pittsburgh after 2 leads Los Angeles 5-3. Dahlquist, Bullard, Shedden, Ruskowski, and Mantha for the Penguins. Nichols, Eriksson, and Hawkinson for the Kings. And still in the first period, an updated score. New Jersey has come back to score 2 goals, and they now lead Chicago. It is 3-2. Devils leading the Blackhawks 3-2. Well, Calvin Pete, Mark McCumber, they are tied for the top after first round of the Tournament of Champions in California, both firing 4 under 68s. There is also a bit of history being made with Scott Verplank, the first amateur ever to tee it up after he won the Western Open in Chicago. Verplank came in at even par 72.
When Scott Verplank won the Western Open in a sudden death playoff 6 months ago, he became the first amateur to win a PGA Tour event in 31 years. And with that victory, he earned an automatic berth into the Tournament of Champions, and he is the first amateur in the tournament's 34-year history to ever compete in the event.
It's just a good experience for me to get out here and get to play against these guys because they are the best in the world, so it just gives me a lot of confidence when I can compete for a tournament championship.
A senior at Oklahoma State University at 21 years of age, Verplank is way ahead of the game and is pushing many of the pros, and the tour's regulars are well aware of it.
He's 21 years old through age, but he's matured a lot more than that. He's really a super nice young man, and he's more mature than his age for sure, and he's also, of course, an excellent golfer.
You know, he's evidently got the capability of beating us out here, a little nut. But, you know, people are they're looking for a guy to take a Palmer's place, Nicklaus's place out here. Maybe Scotty's the guy to do it. I just certainly hope he comes out and enjoys himself when he does come out on tour and has fun and makes lots of money.
They just kind of give me the needle. They laugh and kid, and they don't, you know, nobody offers too much advice out here, at least not yet.
And while the other pros may not be offering any advice, it's probably because they feel that Verplank doesn't need any.
I think he's got a great future. He's very strong. Just looks like he's got a lot of golf ahead of him, and I think he'll probably be a great player, or even greater, I should say.
You know, pressure comes from within, so if I don't put any pressure on myself, then there's really not going to be any heat on me, so it's just however I can handle myself is probably going to dictate how I do down the road.
If Verplank could somehow win, he would be the champion of the champions. And he'd also be the only one that wouldn't have a nickel to show for it. Jim Gray, ESPN, La Costa.
And briefly this evening, John McEnroe, Yannick Noah were both winners at the AT&T tennis tournament in Atlanta. Top seed Martina Navratilova, second seed Pam Shriver, both second-round winners. Virginia Slims in Washington. In just a minute, we'll return to the auditorium in Buffalo. Sabres trailing 3-1.
Yeah. You make my heart sing. Yeah. You make everything. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, come on.
The name is Nissan 300 ZX.
On Saturday, January 18th, TSN presents highlights of the SO Youth Swimming Championships. Jim Van Horn and Graham Smith provide the commentary for this showcase of talented young swimmers, including the world's best 12-year-old Allison Hickson. Join us from the Etobicoke Olympium in Ontario, Saturday, January 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern for the SO Youth Swimming Championships, here on the Sports Network.
No scoring in the first period, but 4 goals in the second period as the Moscow Dynamo have moved out in front of the Buffalo Sabres 3-1. And I think, Jerry Cheevers, the score really indicates the play in that second period.
The score does, John, too, and also the scoring opportunities. There's much more than the 3 goals that the Soviets got. Cloutier had a strong period, and outside of the goal that the Sabres got, I don't think Michigan had to maybe make 1 or 2 saves.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights from the period. First of all, here's how to stop a 2-on-1. If you can be a little lucky and stop the Soviets, it doesn't happen very often.
Well, Vert is back in this play right here, and he takes the 2 hands off his stick and has one, and sort of follows up this, who's this player here? Varnanov, but he forces him not to get a play off, and not too often the Soviets have a 2-on-1 and don't get a shot in goal. I think that Verta played it very good.
There was no scoring in the hockey game until 12:09 of the second period, and there was a little controversy surrounding this particular goal.
Well, there was. As we look at it from one angle right here, we'll see that Zubrilchev makes a terrific player. He holds on to the puck. He takes this defenseman out of the play. He circles. He comes in. He lets a backhander go on Cloutier, who makes a very good save. The rebound goes in the air, and Varyanov goes to the net and deflects it in. Now, this way, it doesn't look so intentional, but we'll look at it from another angle now. We'll see Zubrilchev make the play, the save by Cloutier. Varyanov's going to the net. Here, even though his head's sideways, I think he directed it. You don't have to necessarily direct it with your hand. You can turn your body to intentionally direct it, and I feel he did that.
Soviet was smiling smugly on that particular goal from that particular angle.
Only he knows if he did it or not.
All right, we've got time for one more highlight from the period.
Well, this play right here, Mike Ramsey, the veteran Buffalo defenseman, went to somewhere he shouldn't have gone. The play develops up around center ice. The pass is up the boards. Now, Ramsey, he goes to this guy prematurely, allows a 2-on-1 on a rookie defenseman here, Helkaitis, and he's flat-footed. And sooner or later, they were going to get a goal through Cloutier, too. He had just made too many stops and on clear-cut situations, and it went between his legs, too. He didn't play it bad at all. Something was going to eventually happen if they get that many scoring opportunities.
That's the one that hurts, though. 3-1 late in the period.
Well, we said if the Sabres could have gone into the dressing room with only down 1 goal, not playing a strong period, they had a chance to win the game. But as they did in Boston, they allowed the Soviets to get a late goal in the second period while the game is close. And I hope it isn't a fatal goal for the Sabres' sake. I hope they can create some offense this period and make a very close game out of it.
At the other end of the ice, the 1 goal for the Buffalo Sabres by Paul Cyr. And Sabres got a little lucky on that one. We won't show you the play, but it was a little lucky.
Well, you need luck in this game, too. And anytime you direct the puck at the net from any angle, and that happened to be from behind the net, it's a potential scoring opportunity. And it happened to go in off Hamel's leg. And hopefully they'll look at this play and direct more shots at Michigan.
All right, after 2 periods of play at the auditorium in Buffalo, it is 3-1 for the Moscow Dynamo, leading the Buffalo Sabres. Third period action straight ahead here on the Sports Network, TSN.
Did you know that Wayne Gretzky's back? That's right, Wayne Gretzky's back on the front cover of the #1 book about hockey, the NHL's official guide and record book. It's the book that everyone in hockey is talking about. It has the quiz questions, statistics, the photos, the draft choices, and the player information about every NHLer from 1900 to 1986. If you or someone on your gift list enjoys hockey, then the NHL's own official guide and record book is for you. You can get your copy of the NHL guide at any NHL game, wherever books are sold, or by phoning this toll-free number, 1-800-268-1121. That's 1-800-268-1121 to order your NHL guide today.
Sabres have yet to lose a hockey game to a Soviet team. They've played them twice in the last 10 years. This is their third meeting. This time it's against the Moscow Dynamo, and they trail after 2 periods of play by a score of 3-1. They'll have to get moving if they want to catch things in the third period of play. All the scoring coming in that second period of play. Let's take a look at that second period scoring summary. The Soviets started things off at 12:09 of the period. Varyanov, Nikolai scoring to make it 1-0. Then it was Sergei Yashin just a minute and a half later from Varnikov and Bilyaledinov. Paul Cyr with a strange goal at 15:29 made the score 2-1, but a killer at the 18:10 mark by Mikhail Varnikov made it 3-1, and that's the way it stands after 2 shots on goal in that period. Dynamo dominating 16-7, 2-period total 22-14. Dynamo over the Sabres. Only 1 penalty called in that second period of play, and that was against the Buffalo Sabres. Next game, Sunday, our NHL regular season coverage picks up with the Calgary Flames in Philadelphia against the Flyers. 7 p.m. Eastern start. Should be a good hockey game. It's not over yet here. 20 minutes to go in the third period. Let's go upstairs to John Wells and Jerry Cheevers.
Okay, Jim, and they like their international hockey in Buffalo. This is a sellout crowd at the Memorial Auditorium tonight. As you mentioned, the Sabres have not lost to a touring Soviet team in 2 other opportunities, so it'd be nice to see the Sabres come back and make a game out of this one. They're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination at 3-1.
No, they're not, John, but I can feel the crowd getting a little antsy here. They want the Sabres to get some scoring opportunities, too, but the Sabres got to keep plugging away here and put the puck on the net more often and go to the net, drive to the net.
2 big lines for the Buffalo Sabres out there. Andreychuk, Foligno, and Ruff for the Soviets. Varnikov, Svedlov, and Yashin start off the third period with a good hit. And this is Yashin to the Sabre line. And across, he's checked off the puck by Foligno, trailing on the play. Ruff couldn't control it, so Svedlov takes it into the corner. This is Pervukin, number 5, clearing it in behind the Buffalo goal. And the Sabres, Foligno tried to slip it across for Andreychuk. He couldn't take the pass. They put a pretty good hit on Pervukin, though, just inside the Soviet line. Varnikov cleared it into and through the neutral zone as Ruff, or rather Richie Dunn, goes back for the Sabres.
The Soviets are doing what the Sabres should be doing. They're bottling them up at center ice.
Slow beginning to the second period as Tucker starts down the left side for Buffalo. Tucker slipped it out in front, and Sealing couldn't get to it. Good play by Tucker to get it back to the line. Here's a chance for Buffalo. And Sealing was upended. Couldn't get a shot away. Perot clears it into the corner for the Soviets. Vozikov, long pass for Skurduk. Skurduk got in across the Sabre line. He was checked off the puck by Riki. Once more, the Soviets cross the line. Veryanov, the shot, the save by Kluche. Out in front again and fired well wide of the target by Farudinov that time. Farudinov still working in the corner along the boards. Finally, he lost the puck, and it's cleared around by Riki. Riki ahead for Cyr. This is Paul Cyr into the corner. Amel over on the other side. Cyr coming up with it, centered it right out in front. No one there for the Sabres. Kept in at the line by Ramsey, but claimed quickly by Vozikov. Vozikov couldn't get it out, Amel kept it in for Buffalo. Alcaidus in a little trouble against Leonov. He played it well, though. Zubrilchev out in front. Antipov coming in. And that one hit a loose stick out in front. Leonov goes down. Penalty coming up to the Sabres. And Sear may go off, too.
It's tough enough playing the Soviet with hockey sticks. And when you play them without a hockey stick, it's twice as tough.
They'll sort out the penalty. Sear goes off.
Sear without a hockey stick. He's trapped right here, and he pulls him down on about the 3-yard line right here.
Zubrilchev out in front. Antipov coming in. And that one hit a loose stick out in front. Leonov goes down. Penalty coming up to the Sabres. And Sear may go off, too.
It's tough enough playing the Soviet with hockey sticks. And when you play them without a hockey stick, it's twice as tough.
They'll sort out the penalty. Sear goes off.
Sear without a hockey stick. He's trapped right here, and he pulls him down on about the 3-yard line right here. I think the crowd has found out this is a Soviet referee.
He was introduced much earlier in the evening. Viktor Gubertorov. Sear for holding, 2:30. Third period. With the Sabres trailing 3-1. Face-off will be in the Buffalo zone. To the left this time of Jacques Luce. He has been a busy man in goal for the Sabres tonight. He has played well.
Chabert Perot is trying to tell the Soviet referee that there's something happening at the other end of the ice, too. The play just before this penalty, a Sabre was pulled down in front of the Soviet net. I guess he just missed that.
Well, Perot did not win the argument. "17 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Third period, Sabres down by 2 and a man short as the Soviets start a power play. Antipov with Leonov and Zubrilchev, the forward front for the Soviets. And the Sabres get it out of their territory quickly. This is Gluchenkov now for the Moscow Dynamo. Leonov. Good forechecking by Sealing. Now Zubrilchev has it. And on the right side, Zubrilchev. Back to the line. This is Gluchenkov. Zubrilchev and back once more. Over to the left point. And back for Gluchenkov. Soviets, as mentioned, very, very patient. We have not seen them control us on a power play frequently tonight. Luce made the save. Antipov takes a return pass. Back to the line. Pyatinov. And he takes a return pass shot. Luce the save. Zubrilchev controls the rebound.
The Sabres have to get a little more addressed killing this penalty. They're allowing the Soviets. They have to be more aggressive because when you give the Soviets time to work around the puck, with their ability to pass, it's very dangerous. Leonov hits the Soviet right in front of the net. Once again, Cloutier stands there and shuts him off and freezes the puck. Teams that pass good, you cannot be conservative in your penalty killing. You have to go after them. You have to get them out of that.
You have to force them. You have to force them out of there.
That good flow that they're in.
47 seconds left of the penalty. To Paul Sear. Holding was the call. Face-off again in the Buffalo zone. Emil lost the draw right back to the line. This is Pervukin. His shot got through. Cloutier steered to the side. Yashin was in very close. Bilyaletdinov, 17, in for Svetlov. once more. This is Svetlov getting set for the shot. Fired it. It's right back to Svetlov, claiming his own rebound with 21 seconds left. Oh! Svetlov cleared it across in front for Pervukin, and Pervukin closed and just missed the passing opportunity from Svetlov. Just 9 seconds left in the penalty to Sears, so the Sabres did very well, holding out the Soviet power play. Varnikov with a pass on the right side for Svetlov, and that broken up just inside the line, cleared down by Ruff. Icing will be called against the Buffalo Sabres with 15 minutes, 18 seconds to play, third period, and the visitors lead the guests by 2.
Now when that thirst starts, it's gonna take a beer with miles and miles of heart, and the beer you want is waiting for you. A light tasting brew, yeah, taste that says hop from the start. Molson Light has got heart.
Heart! This one's got it!
Feel like this, a goaltender holding his own out in front, Jerry.
Well, the crease area is the goaltender's domain here. And Klotze, this guy's been killing everyone around here, Yashin, with his goals. So I think Klotze just wanted to let him know that he's around there.
Sabres control after the faceoff. Ruff couldn't take a pass, but claims it off the boards. 3 Sabres to the line. Ruff falls as he goes across. Popian in after it for the Soviets. Now this is Mike Foligno. Foligno had a man out in front, but he was tied up. Picked up for Buffalo by Housley. Out in front, Foligno couldn't quite come up with it. Held along the boards just inside that Sabre line. Now it trickles out across, but we'll have a face-off in that general area.
The Sabres are having some control in the Soviet end, but they're just not getting their shots on goal or near the net even.
Soviets were keeping them off balance in that particular sequence. The veteran Victor Skirnak. Cleared in right from the faceoff by Joe Ricci. Zabrilchev couldn't come up with it. Ricci dumps it back to the line. Picked up by Playfair. He couldn't get anywhere. Now Tucker has it for the Sabres. Tucker has an offside just at the line there. Man on the right side, just a little too quick. Playfair. Tucker's got the visor on. Jerry?
Well, the Sabres experimented with this at the morning practice, and the whole team had them on, and I understand it come from the owner, Knox, to try it. A few have elected to wear them tonight.
From the faceoff, Tucker in across the line. Now might get an opportunity. Scores! Larry Playfair. Tucker made it work. Playfair got the goal.
Playfair held on it just long enough to beat Michigan on the short side. He's not known for his goal scoring, but he made a great shot there, and he outweighted Michigan in this particular play. He waited here, he waited. Stick side low right by Michigan.
Tucker really made it work, though. He had 2 Soviets tied up in front of the net.
Tucker's a very good offensive player. He knows what to do in the Soviet zone. I think they found a new left winger in Playfair for the time being. Let's see if they can take advantage of this, John.
3-2. Sabres close to within a goal. This is Ricci. Content to dump it in. After it, Perreault. He couldn't control it. And it's all the way down into the Sabre zone once more. Ricci. Back for it. Ahead on the boards, trying to get it for Playfair. And it's held along the sidelines for a face-off with 13:57 to play, third period. Still lots of time for the Sabres to make a real evening of this. One more angle of the goal.
Tucker really hustles after the draw at the blue line. He's dueling with two Soviets, and Playfair picks up the results of that duel and drives it in the short side.
He took Gluchenkov and Pietanov right out of the play to John Tucker, and that set up the goal that gets the Sabres within one. Mike Ramsey behind his own goal for Buffalo. And on the left side, Sear. And a bit of a battle down there with Bilyaletdinov. Comes to Bilyaletdinov once more. Now Varnikov for the Soviets to the line. The Sabres stand him up there. Can't get across. Now he finds an opening. Varnikov tried to find someone out front. Sabres control and carry it out. This is Svedlov. He's taken out by Ramsey. Sabres back to the line and across. This is Sean McKenna. McKenna working in. Tried to clear it out in front. Got it there, but it was quickly grabbed by 22. Varnikov. This is Yashin into the corner. Got away from a check from Halkitis. Fed it out in front. Back to the line. Soviets in control. Blocked by Halkitis. And a chance for the Sabres. Lindy Ruff. Fired wide. One more time. Mike Foligno. Good save. Mishkin. Kept in by Buffalo. That's Richie Dunn clearing it around. Foligno goes after it. Foligno dumps it around to the other side. Ruff is there. Lindy Ruff in for Foligno. Foligno out in front, scores! Foligno! Mike Foligno took the pass from Andreychuk. It is even at 3.
This goal is coming. This line had some good opportunities in the last minute. They worked the puck well behind the Soviet net. Ruff makes a pass. Behind the net. Andreychuk on his backhand turns to Foligno in the garden spot, and Foligno doesn't miss too often there. Andreychuk once again, he turns on his backhand, throws it in front, and Foligno just drives it in the far corner. Michigan had no chance on the play.
Well, that'll make for a very interesting hockey evening. 3-3.
It's funny, if you play good hockey for 10 minutes nowadays, you're always in the game.
Mike Foligno gets the Sabres back to even.
Even though Andreychuk made the pass and Foligno made a great shot, the Buffalo Sabres need Lindy Ruff in the lineup. He's been on and off all year through injuries and everything, but he makes things work. He's a terrific corner man, and in this building with a good corner man and two talented players like Andreychuk and Foligno, things happen.
Something has been tossed out of the ice, so the stadium attendants are out tidying things up around Vladimir Mishkin.
You know, I don't like to see this because of the momentum the home team's got. It just takes it away from, they got something going now, Sabres, and all of a sudden there's time out for to clean up some debris thrown on the ice. Sometimes fans can play a part in wins and losses. Sometimes, a lot of times.
Well, if it hurts the home team,
it helps the visiting team.
That's right, and if somebody from the home audience tosses something down there in their celebration, the Sabres may cool down a little bit, but maybe the fans won't let them with a good round of applause like that.
Well, this last 5 minutes has lit the crowd up, so we're going to have a good 8 minutes of hockey here. 12 minutes.
Overtime is a possibility, too. Hope you didn't have any early dinner reservations, Jerry.
Well, the Soviets refuse to play overtime in Pittsburgh, but it is NHL regulations, and they have to play it.
Joe Perreault to the line, over on the left side. This is Lacombe going in. He's ridden out by Skurda. Perreault back to the line. Ricky winds up shot. Michigan, big save.
That should be an interference call in Michigan. He created the net coming off. He hindered the Sabre player from going to the puck.
Closer look.
You see the puck misses the net and goes to the far corner. Lacombe is trying to retrieve the puck. Michigan gets his stick out. This is no different from interference at neutral ice or any end zone. This is an interference call. Somehow the Soviet referee missed it again. Make things worse, the face-off is outside.
And from that face-off, cleared in quickly by the Sabres. Perreault going in, takes a shot. That one off a leg. Loose out in front. Oh, they score! 4-3. Lacombe.
That proves the referee was wrong in the interference call. Lacombe takes a bouncing puck in front of the net, directs it towards the goal, and goes between Michigan's legs. The puck is in the air right to Lacombe, falls, and just directs it towards the net and went right under Michigan. But he's the player that Michigan interfered with.
Normand Lacombe.
I think Michigan just missed that.
It is 4-3 for the Sabres. But still lots of hockey ahead. This is Sear clearing it in for Buffalo with 11:48 to play. Final period. Alkitis overskated a turnaround. Shot fired. Michigan save.
They got the right idea, Sabres. After 3 quick goals, put everything towards the net. Michigan's getting a little rattled now. He's losing his poise a little bit.
You know, a couple of the changes the Sabres have made in their lineup. Lacombe has paid off handsomely with that goal, but I thought that Ricky, their young defenseman, has played fairly confidently as well.
Well, they brought him up tonight to have a look at him in this stiff competition, and he's performing very well. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the lineup Friday when the Sabres play the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Sabres, of course, in that race in the Adams division. Tighter by the moment. Currently, Buffalo stands 5th. A point back of Hartford, 3 back of Boston, and 8 from the top, held by Montreal and Quebec.
Well, they got the fans into the game, John. This will do nothing but help the Sabres.
Sabres sent out the line of Hamel, Sear, McKenna. Sears played well.
Yes, he has. He struggled scoring the goals this year with the Sabres, too, but he's a very good checker, and he's got the kind of shot that he should have more than 5 or 6 goals, too.
Well, the Soviets, Yashin, Varnikov, and Svetlov. Sabres hold it into the corner out in front. Hamel couldn't get a stick on it. This is Svetlov for the Soviets. Varnikov on the right side. Varnikov falls, got it back to the line. Soviets still control. This is Svetlov, but he's ridden out. At the line, kept in by Bilyaletnov. Chance for Buffalo. Hamel winding up with a shot. That one off the defenseman, Pervukin. And the Soviets move out quickly. Svetlov. It comes through to Varnikov. This is Yashin to Varnikov. Out in front, they score even at 4 as Svetlov came in.
Great passing in this goal, John.
Just beautiful.
The Sabre line that was out there, the Hamel, Sear, McKenna line, should have been only on the defense here. The puck goes by Hamel here. Pass to Yashin. He makes a pass to the corner, right across to the guy coming in late, and bang, right in the open net. The Soviets don't miss those too often.
It is even at 4 with 11 minutes on the clock, 3rd period. Ruff moves in for the Buffalo Sabres. Shot, Michigan to save, rebound bounces high, Foligno swipes at it. It's high in the air once more. Jump ball. Cleared down by the Soviets. And icing charged against the Moscow Dynamo. Even at 4, 10:42 to play in the final period.
The breakthrough in electric heaters is here. Developed by General Electric Housewares, now a vital part of the new Black & Decker. New Heater Plus is light, compact, goes anywhere, and turns into a summer fan. No other portable electric heater can give you more warmth, and it's safe with children. Heater Plus from the new Black & Decker.
We brought the best together to serve you even better.
Andrechuk, Foligno, Ruff, the forward front for the Sabres. With Dunn and Housley on defense. Face-off in the Soviet zone. Playing quickly by Vozikov. Vozikov tried to get it through for Skurdok. It goes all the way down. Housley. And icing again against the Moscow Dynamo. 4-4. Here's the old auditorium wave.
I wonder if they have the wave in Moscow. They have the whistle.
The whistle.
Yeah.
They know how to work a whistle.
I'll tell you, the wave is disturbing to an opposing bench.
I think the Soviets have seen it on this tour, but it must have been a little disturbing to them the first couple of times they saw it. This is Farudinov. Now Andrechuk for the Sabres with Foligno on the right side. Foligno gets it. Takes the shot, sharp angle. Michigan had it covered. Now Ruff around behind. Housley moved in. It's back to Andrechuk. Andrechuk tried to chip it out in front. Couldn't get it there. Farudinov taken out, but he still comes up with a puck. Farudinov ahead for Vozikov. Vozikov. The shot fired that time from Berianov. Andrechuk for the Sabres in his own zone. Foligno dumped it ahead.
Good change by the Sabres there.
Down once more after it is Joe Ricci, and again the Soviets trying to stay away from some of the pressure being applied by the Sabres.
There's Joe Ricci heading into the Soviet end there for the face-off.
Petawawa, Ontario, and he played for the Cornwall Royals. First game in the National Hockey League.
I'm sure he'll remember this as time goes by, but the important thing here is I think the Sabres have found a defenseman that is big, aggressive, and can handle the puck pretty well.
Face off to the left of Vladimir Mishkin. That's Tucker at center. Face. Oh, almost. Tucker got it over for Playfair. I thought it was in. Mishkin made a great save.
Mishkin makes a terrific save here. Tucker gets it over to Playfair once again. He gets good wood on it, and Mishkin reacted quickly and made the save and smothered it.
He also got on top of got on the rebound, made 2 saves, and then found the rebound, didn't he?
Eventually, he found the rebound.
Tucker over for Playfair. Playfair in behind the net. Now it's cleared out in front. Here's Playfair. Mishkin foiled him again. Playfair went to the backhand. Good hit by Playfair on Pervukin. That's Perot out there behind the net for Buffalo now. Playfair falls, and the Soviets start back. This is Yashin with Barnikov. Man trailing takes the shot, scores. Pervukin. It is 5-4. And boy, they are quick.
They are quick, and they pounce on you. But the foul here, the line had it going pretty good, and the other team's in the Tucker. Tucker's back. As I said earlier, it's never too late to come back against the Soviet. And where does Pervukin come from? From way off. Playfair and Perot are caught. And even though the ball went between Cloutier's legs, you still have to hustle back. And Playfair and Perot, it was their job to pick up Pervukin coming in late. He was the 5th guy in this goal.
10:57 the time of the goal. It is 5-4 for the Dynamo, leading the Buffalo Sabres. Good action in the 3rd period, in particular in this one. Farudinov. Farudinov still has it. Back to the line. The shot fired well high and wide by Vozikov. Souvenir.
You can't get caught against the Soviets. You pay for it every time.
I think of the play that Verta made. And that's about the only time that an excellent scoring opportunity for the Soviets hasn't turned into a goal. Except for the exploits of Mr. Cloutier, of course, who's made several sparkling saves. 8:27 left, 5-4 Dynamo. As the Sabres try to break out of their own zone. Not very effectively that time, but a good hit by Sear. Alcaides now for Buffalo. Gluchenkov banks it off the boards. It's into the neutral territory once more. That's done. Over on the right side. Anderson couldn't get anywhere with it. Soviets another opportunity. As Bedyanov went in that time, but fired wide. Lacombe got it to the line and across, but the Soviets take it out quickly. Sasha back behind his line. Now Antipov out the right side, and Housley has it for the Sabres. Phil Housley for Lindy Ruff. Ruff left it for Dunn. Back to Ruff now. And on the right side is Phil Housley. Housley goes in deep. Tried to get it out front. Off escape. One man back. It's done. And Svetlov can't get to the puck. Offside called against the Buffalo Sabres. They trail the Moscow Dynamo 5-4 with 7:13 to play in the third period.
Look what just popped up. The new Sony Handycam. A video camera recorder so tiny, it fits in one hand. To capture every move and hear every sound. Just point and shoot and catch all the fun. The new Sony Handycam. Where will it pop up next?
Well, the Sabres haven't stopped hitting.
Well, here we see Sear take out the defenseman Payetnikov. He almost got two, as a matter of fact, too. But Sear is one of the more physical Sabres.
The elbows might have been a little high on that one.
I don't think that Soviet will call a penalty against the Sabres here.
Out at 5-4 with 7:10 to go. ML. Weak shot. He aimed it at the net. ML out in front. Chance. Foligno. Couldn't find it. Housley. Weak backhand. Mishkin set it up for Bilyaletdinov. Housley back to touch it. One more icing call against the Soviets. That might be a new international record for the Soviets for the number of icing calls in one game.
Sure is. But Foligno missed a golden opportunity there to tie this game up.
Lost it in his feet, I think.
Phil Housley from St. Paul, Minnesota. Excellent offensive defenseman and
high school to the NHL.
Sure is. That's a tough move, but and he's improved steadily defensively too. If he could concentrate on his defense, he's a darn good hockey player.
Sabres have had him up playing forward though. Occasion that might have impeded his progress a little bit. Mishkin the save. Foligno out in front. Another chance. Housley. Mishkin kicked it out. That was a big save by Mishkin. Perudinov over on the right side for Skirdak. Skirdak is upended as he crossed the line. He's down and hurt. Housley lost it to Perudinov, and Skirdak went down heavily. He's being helped to the bench.
He's a little groggy right now.
Maybe we can see it on the replay.
He cuts across the blue line here. He makes a pass and looks at it. A fatal mistake by
heads up
by the Soviet player. You should never look at a pass you make, and because that's when you get blindsided.
Look at them. You should never admire them.
Yeah, you can look at them, but don't admire them. You're right. But he paid for it.
.6:23 to play, third period. 5-4 Dynamo in front of the Buffalo Sabres. This is Hannu Virta for Buffalo. Sabres a little trouble getting out of their zone. Now Gilles Perreault. Perreault, good pass for Tucker. Tucker took the shot. Zabrilchev, 18 for the Soviets. Dynamo on the attack once more, led this time by Leonov. Left it at the line. Save by Kluche. Might have been a little wide of the old target.
Yeah, he wasn't taking any chances there, Kluche, too. One thing I've noticed tonight, that doesn't have much to do with the hockey game, but I've never seen so many Soviet helmets on the ice. They're not strapped tightly enough, or the hitting is very good.
Well, Foligno's hit just a few moments ago on Skurduk was one of the better we've seen on the tour.
I like what you said, John. You can look at your pass, but don't admire it. Don't admire it.
Sometimes you have to follow it through. But I think he might have been thinking that was a nice pass that time. Perot can't take it off the boards as it was fed ahead by Riki. Uverta starting out for the Buffalo Sabres. 5:34 to play. Over on the left wing for Tucker. Tucker to Playfair. Back to Tucker. Oh, he didn't miss by much. John Tucker has played an extremely strong game for the Sabres.
Hit the outside of the post in that quick shot. I think he's been the Sabres' best player tonight.
Riki dumping it into the Soviet zone. That's Perot after it. Comes through now to Anderson. Anderson and Perot. And Halkitis can't keep it in. Yashin is after him. Halkitis back to the line. This is Perot circling at center ice. His pass for Ramsey off the target. And the Sabres are offside of the Soviet line. With 4 minutes, 54 seconds to play, a 1-goal differential between the Dynamo on the final night of their North American tour of '86 and the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, the Sabres played a lot better in this third period, too. And they were an inch away from tying the game up. Tucker made a terrific shot when off the outside of the post. But he's played a strong game, Tucker.
Faceoff is just outside the Soviet line. Anderson got it back, and it's cleared in by Buffalo. And kept in along the boards by McKenna. This is Sear working out in front. The backhand off a stick. Comes back to Sear. The shot. Mishkin.
Mishkin felt that one.
Bullet drive, but Mishkin had the angle played perfectly. Mike Ramsey working against Sashov. Verta goes to Ramsey down the left side. Sear in after it. Anderson claims it on the far side boards. In the corner for Sean McKenna. McKenna for Sear. McKenna trying to get out in front. And he was checked. Perudinov cleared it out in front. Sashov has it for the Soviets. Sashov tried to go through, ridden out by Dunn, and it's tied up between those two players. Dunn and Sashov for a face-off in the Sabre zone.
Michigan
under 4 minutes, sorry.
Michigan showed some great experience there. Sear was at a bad angle. He knew he was going to have to take a blow up high, and he stood there and went off his left arm, and he's still smarting a little bit.
Glushenkov, well wide. Housley for the Sabres. Got it out across the line. Antipov tipped it right back in. And a penalty coming up. Foligno, I believe, from the fan reaction and Antipov's reaction. Antipov is doubled over and skating toward the Sabre bench. Well, that was number 25.
I was wrong in thinking this referee would not call a penalty against the Sabres in this building, too, but he must have saw something that I didn't see.
I think he just bumped into him, didn't he?
That was not a charging call. The Soviet player went down and put a good act to the play. That was not a charging call.
The man of the moment, Viktor Gubernatorov from the Soviet Union. He is from, I don't know where he's from in the Soviet Union, but I'm sure they'll let him back into the country after the call.
You know, there's an old football coach named Duffy Doherty from Michigan. He said there should be a Hall of Fame for referees because they win a lot of games.
Soviet power play goes into effect. Varnikov across the line, cleared out by the Sabres. 3:34 to play, third period. Svedlov now ahead for Varnikov. They have Yashin with them. Yashin read it wrong and he went the other way. Varnikov to the line with Svedlov on the right side. Svedlov takes the pass and around behind the net for Yashin. And back to Svedlov working out front. They score on the power play. It is 6-4. The line working very effectively again. Varnikov that time, number 22.
Well, if this pass wasn't so hard and crisp, the goal wouldn't have happened. But the Soviet player made a great pass to Varnikov, and the strength of these Soviets is unbelievable. He took this pass and just directed right in, and it was a bullet pass by Svetnov. He just banged it in. Their passing is so good. It's so tough to defend against. Anything else but a crisp, hard pass wouldn't have resulted in a goal. But Svetnov takes the puck, zips it across. The strength of Varnikov on his stick allows him to score the goal. I believe the referee took the Sabres out of it. If the Sabres did have a chance to win, it was taken away by a very iffy call by the referee.
They're down by 2 right now with less than 3 minutes to play. 2:50 on the clock. As Foligno banks it off the boards and ahead for Andrechuk. He couldn't catch up to it. For the Soviets now, Popian ahead for Forudinov. Foligno bumped off the puck by Forudinov. Sashov now back behind his own line. Foligno stole it there. Foligno working in, trying to get the shot away. Michigan the save. Foligno is down.
John, I was going to say that I would bet you the Soviets get a penalty before the game's over, but I have to take that back.
Foligno a little distressed about that. He worked hard for the opportunity.
He gets a break here. Foligno keeps plugging away here. Finally goes in. He's hooked. He's interfered with. Cannot get the shot away. The stick is in the gut area. I think that's a hook. It was no worse than the call on Foligno.
Well, the charging call on Foligno was not a very good penalty call at all. Yashin is having a pretty good night. 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. Varnikov, 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. Svedlov, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. That's the line.
Sure, as we mentioned many times, you had to stop that line to win the hockey game. I know if they played
simpler up here, isn't it? When you
Sure
watch
is.
them up here, you can figure it out so quick.
I know if they played next week sometimes that they'd have to have a checking line on them.
Well, I guess that's been a bit of a problem for the NHL teams. There has not been a lot of time to prepare. Playing the Soviets in the middle of the schedule, they haven't been able to do any scouting reports, something that you would do if you were in an international competition like the Canada Cup with a trophy on the line at the end. Fans are still tossing bits of debris on the ice, so that'll hold up the proceeding here for a little while longer.
The power play goal by the Soviets, I believe, took the opportunity for the Sabres to win away, but there's still 2.5 minutes left and a quick goal here. And
well, the Sabres are angered now. I don't know if that'll help or hinder them. That line of Tucker with Playfair on the left side out there and Perreault on the right wing. There's a penalty coming up. Touchdown there in the other zone by Dunn.
Believe it or not, John, the referee did not see that. His back was turned to the play, and I believe the fans called this penalty. But I would have been right. I knew he was going to call a penalty in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
See if we can spot here what is the infraction.
He didn't see it at all. He saw Sabre in the ice and the crowd yelling, therefore penalty.
Shows it pretty clearly on that replay, doesn't it?
Yeah. He didn't want to see it.
Well, the Sabres now have a power play. Let's see if they can get closer and then go for the equalizer with this opportunity. 2:14 to play. And in this game, that's enough to get 2 quick goals. Done for the Sabres. Tried to go a rink wide. It was broken up by Pervukin. Cleared in now by Andreychuk. Sabres on the power play. There's debris down on the ice there. A little dangerous in the Soviet zone. Here's Leonev, or rather Yashin, 13. 1:39 to play as the Sabres dump it in. Andreychuk is after it, 25. Kept in at the line by Housley. Housley plays it over wisely for Dunn. Dunn just dumps it into the corner for Ruff. Tried to feed it out in front for Foligno. And Dunn can't keep it in at the Soviet line. So Housley has to go back to his own blue line. Over for Foligno on the right side. Foligno to the corner, played it around behind the boards, or behind the net rather. Back for Foligno. Got to get a shot, guys. Out in front, Ruff was there. Andreychuk has it. Andreychuk the shot, Mishkin the save. Into the final minute of the period, 44 seconds left in the Soviet penalty. Ramsey around behind the net. This is Housley after it. Ruff left it there for Andreychuk. Andreychuk trying to work out in front. Ruff took a shot. He was off balance.
The goaltender's out for the Sabres, John.
Empty net. And there goes Beryanov. Tips it in to the empty net. And it is 7-4. Some of the debris on the ice cleared into the goal behind Mishkin. An American flag has been tossed down as well. And 34 seconds are left on the clock.
Soviets they're just interested in getting it out of their zone. Bouncing puck goes to the left wing and just directs it into the open net. The Sabres played a lot better in the third period. They created a lot of scoring opportunities, and I can't be, if I was a Sabre, wouldn't be totally disappointed.
19:26, the time of the empty netter.
Mishkin made a very good save on Andreychuk just before the open net goal.
Was down behind the Soviet goal there. There's still a lot of debris on the ice. They didn't bother to clean much of it up. There's Perreault dumping it into the corner. And the final 26 seconds remaining. Perudinov to the Sabre line and across. Perudinov going in right out in front. The save by Cloutier. And it's picked up by Halkidis. This is Tucker. He's checked from behind by Beryanov. Halkidis just out into the central area, and that's the hockey game. 7-4. The visitors beating the Buffalo Sabres. And a hockey game that had just a little bit of everything. Some controversy. The power play goal on the Foligno penalty hurt the Buffalo Sabres in the third period when they were coming out.
Yeah, that hurt them, John, but I think the goal that really killed them was the Pervukin goal. The Sabres had taken the lead 4-3, and they were having a good shift in the Soviet end, and Pervukin was the fifth man. Okay, if they go down and make a great play on a 3-on-3 or something to score a goal, but it's a shame that a fifth man can score a goal in such a close hockey game.
He was the trailing defenseman, and that gave the Soviets the lead, the chance to regain the lead at that stage.
Yeah, especially because the Sabres had something going at that particular time. But the Sabres played much better in the third period, directed a lot more shots at the net, and we're better offensively.
Overall, a pretty good hockey game. A little slow going in the first period, second period with 4 goals, and the third period with lots of excitement, including a brief lead by the Buffalo Sabres. And both goaltenders acquitted themselves well, I thought. Michigan came up with big saves when he had to.
Yeah, he does. He seems to have that ability to let a couple goals in and save it when it counts. I like that in a goaltender.
The Dinaмо Sports Club will now present an Outstanding Player of the Game award to a member of each club. Chosen as the outstanding player for the Moscow Dynamo with 1 goal and 4 assists is number 13, Sergei Yashin.
Can hardly argue with that selection.
No, you can't. He very deserving choice right there. Even in the Bruin game, he could have been a deserving choice.
And chosen as the outstanding player of the game for the Buffalo Sabres with 1 goal to number 17, Mike Foligno.
He had a strong game. I quite like the play of John Tucker, though. I think that might have been our choice.
Well, that would have been my choice, John Tucker. He created many of an opportunity in the Soviet end, but I can't argue with Foligno either. He got involved in the game in the 3rd period, and he's a strong player, Foligno. He's an important player to the Sabres.
Well, I think overall an entertaining evening of hockey at the auditorium in Buffalo. The Buffalo Sabres going down to defeat at the hands of the Moscow Dynamo, 7-4. The Dynamo coming up with their 2nd victory of the tour, so they finish with 2 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie. More ahead from the Sports Network, TSN.
Business travelers are waking up to the good deal they get at Howard Johnson.
Good morning.
A recent U.S. survey was positively eye-opening. Our guests rated our message and wake-up service higher than Best Western guests rated theirs. Our room decor better than Holiday Inn guests. Our staff more efficient than Ramada's. Towels thicker, too. People with a nose for business are finding the nearly 500 Howard Johnson hotels and lodges a good deal, and a good deal more.
It's crazy, viewer. TV Guide's Crazy 8's Hot Numbers Contest. Each TV Guide has a different number. See? Your number's picked, you can win. Crazy 8s. 8 snazzy Renault Alliances, 1 a week. 8 40-inch TVs with VCRs, 1 a week. And a special bonus week draw for 8 trips for 2 to Nassau. Crazy. Crazy 8s. TV Guide's Great Hot Numbers Contest continues right on the cover of the magazine of TV and video that you trust. TV Guide. It improves the view.
Let's take a look at the Molson 3 stars from tonight's hockey game. Obviously, star number 1 from the Moscow Dynamo, Sergei Yashin, had 5 assists tonight, deservedly the number 1 star. Number 2 from the Buffalo Sabres, Mike Foligno, scored a goal and was in the hair of the Soviets all night long. And star number 3, Mikhail Varnikov, with 2 goals and an assist. Once again, Sergei Yashin, Mike Foligno, Mikhail Varnikov. Those are the 3 stars of tonight's game. The final score 7-4. We'll be back with more from the Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo right after this. Backboard to backboard, TSN has all the excitement and thrills of professional basketball with our live exclusive coverage of the NBA. Tuesday, January 14th, the Utah Jazz play the Houston Rockets. All the exciting live action starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Your final score of tonight's hockey game, the Moscow Dynamo ending their exhibition series against the NHL with a victory 7-4 over the Buffalo Sabres here at the Memorial Auditorium. Larry Playfair was not one of the stars of tonight's game, as chosen one of the 3 stars, but certainly one of the stars. He scored a goal and played a very strong game up on the forward left side. Larry, it's not a position that you play normally. Was it a bit of an experiment tonight?
Yeah, we brought a few new guys up from Rochester, and they want to try them on defense. And I played a little bit of forward, so they moved me up there for a little bit extra work, and I enjoyed it. I mean, tonight was a good contest and a tough skating one, and I enjoyed it.
Is it a position you'd like to play a little more often?
Well, you get more chances up front, I think, to bump and grind, and obviously chances to score goals, and that's what makes the game fun. Yeah, if they want to play me up there, hey, I'll play anywhere.
Dynamo, you mentioned yourself, very good hockey club, but this small ice surface, you said you wouldn't want to face them on anything much bigger.
Boy, I don't know. A small ice surface like this definitely is in our favor. I think if we had them on a big one like they have over in Europe, or even one in maybe Edmonton or Winnipeg, a bigger ice surface than we have here, I think we might have been in a little more trouble, because they certainly can skate and handle the puck well. Smaller surface like this, we're used to it. We play 40 games a year here, and we kind of cut them down a little bit better than maybe they could in the big rink. So, and a bigger ice surface, I think we would have had our hands full.
Certainly a very good hockey game, entertaining-wise. You were down by 2, came back with 3 straight goals in the third period. Unfortunately, it was kind of taken away from you tonight by the Soviet referee.
Well, you know, if he's going to call the ones that he called on us, he certainly could have gave them a few. But that's hockey, you know. In international competition, there's always somebody who's going to complain about the refereeing, and this time we get to.
What impressed you most about this Dynamo hockey club?
Well, again, it's just what the Soviets do so well, and it's they handle the puck. I mean, when you think they absolutely don't have another play that they can make, they drop it between their feet or make a back pass, and it's right on someone else's stick. And they do so much without even, you would think they couldn't even see who they're passing the puck to, and there it is on the stick, and they've got a quality shot. So that's what they do real well.
Larry, I think everybody will agree it was a very entertaining hockey game tonight, and you played a major role in it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Larry Playfair of the Buffalo Sabres. Now let's go upstairs to John Wells and Jerry Cheevers.
Okay, Jim, some controversy in the hockey game tonight, but I guess we can't blame the outcome of any hockey game on the officiating, particularly when it ends in a final score of 7-4.
Not really. I mean, you can use that as an excuse if you want to, too, but I think the Soviets were the better team tonight.
All right, let's look back. We've got time for one highlight. We'll show you the game-winning goal and really typically Soviet.
Well, the Buffalo had a flurry in their end, and they had it going pretty good, too, but it was more or less an innocent 3-on-3 in this particular situation. Tucker's back. Everything's going pretty smoothly right here. The Sabres have played it well up to this point, but Yashin makes a drop pass to the 5th man coming in, who happens to be Pervukin, the talented Soviet defenseman. I don't know where Perol and Playfair are at this time, but I think they had enough time to get back. And he drives it between Clotier's legs. Unfortunately, that was the winning goal for the Soviets, too, but the Sabres had control of the puck behind the net there, failed in an attempt to score. An innocent play come out, and all of a sudden was the 4th or 5th guy that scored the goal that ended up being the winning goal.
All right, let's go down to Jim Van Horn once more. Jim?
Thank you very much, John Wells and Jerry Cheevers. Well, that takes care of this exhibition series between the Soviets and the National Hockey League. Red Army went on to win their series 5-1 against NHL teams, and the Moscow Dynamo go down with a 2-1-1 record. So they ended tonight on a very positive note with a win over the Buffalo Sabres. Our regular NHL hockey season coverage will resume on Sunday. We will take you to Philadelphia, the Spectrum, where the Flyers will take on the Calgary Flames. The Flyers, if not the best, one of the best in the National Hockey League. The Flames in a terrible slump hope to get out of it and start playing good hockey as they head into the second half of the season. Note the time, that's a 7 p.m. Eastern start. And so that takes care of this series, a very entertaining series of games between the Soviet Union and the National Hockey League. We hope you've enjoyed them because we've enjoyed bringing them to you. Once again, the final score from the Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo, 7 for Dynamo, 4 for the Sabres. For John Wells and Jerry Cheevers, I'm Jim Van Horn. Thanks for joining us.